the long-term unfunded liabilities of our nation and not feel compelled to intervene and change course. No responsible leader can do that.
I didn't know.
As I said from the outset, this is the 21st century challenge for America. I believe this is our generation's world war, and the cost of losing this war will be catastrophic and irreparable. And I have 3 children. I imagine many of you have children and grandchildren, and they're counting on us to step up and be leaders and work together to solve the problem. If we don't have this sense of urgency, we don't have a plan, if we don't exercise political courage to execute the plan, we will be the first generation of leaders to fail to leave the country better than we found it. What a sad commentary. I refuse to accept that. I know you do too. As I said before, this isn't a Republican or Democrat problem. This is our collective problem to solve. And it is a mathematic reality that will require real leadership on both sides of the aisle and in both chambers. Unfortunately, over the last several years, maybe even the last few decades, too many Americans have become desensitized to the trillions of dollars of accumulating debt, and too many lawmakers have been disengaged with the false sense of security that we can continue down this treacherous fiscal path without any real consequence. However, the past 2 years, I think, have provided a wake-up call. Record spending, $11 trillion, 6 of which has been added to the national debt,
pretty good,
has resulted in a cost of living crisis for the American people.
I hope you're good, Badger.
And because of inflation, such a great, and because of soaring interest
core group,
the American people are waking up to the bad fiscal and monetary policies that are impacting their own pocketbooks.
You guys, I love you.
And that's not there's a silver lining there because they're engaged in this, which means we might have a fighting chance to actually address it together. As I've said before, this trajectory we're on is unsustainable, but it's not unfixable.
Yeah,
I believe that.
I like women.
But both parties have to acknowledge they've contributed to it. Mr. McGovern, the Republicans have made their fair share of contributions to get us in this financial mess, and I say it at every hearing. We don't get a pass. We don't get a pass. And 7 years since I've been here, I've watched it. Waiving pay-fors, waiving spending caps, and the list goes on of fiscal recklessness and irresponsibility of both parties.
Darling.
So
I'm so grateful you
now that I've called out both sides, Mr. Ranking Member.
Adore you. Yeah,
I don't think
and
fiscal commission is the panacea for
and even
all
those
of our
ones
financial
sometimes
woes.
test my patience.
I just don't think there's a silver bullet. At the end of the day, we have to have the political courage as a body.
I'll tell you what never lets me down.
To cut through the brinkmanship, the weaponization, the fear-mongering that we get from the outside and the inside. And we have to hold hands, as they say, and move forward with courage for the sake of our seniors who are now in jeopardy of insolvency.
You're talking about all the money we don't have.
Programs.
Good night, sweetheart.
But also
Good
for
night,
our
my
children.
dear friend.
I know I'm going over time. I can see you kind of
Sweet
getting restless.
dreams.
But I'm just getting warmed up. No, I'm kidding. But guys, I've met with a lot of interest groups.
Guys,
some of them
even
with
my
a very
mistress
righteous
doesn't
cause,
spend
many of
money
them
like
with a
you
mutual
all
interest.
do.
I've yet to meet with the people who represent my children. I've yet to meet with the people who are concerned about a country that has been bankrupted because of our recklessness. We're sowing the wind, and our children will reap the whirlwind of this fiscal disaster if we don't work together and do it quickly. So we're going to evaluate these proposals. We're going to look for common themes. We're going to ask a lot of questions about the various contours and constructs and structural designs so that if we can move forward with a bipartisan, bicameral fiscal commission, even though I don't think there's a silver bullet out there, maybe, just maybe, it will provide a forum, Ed Case, for constructive, like real constructive, not posing for cameras and posturing for different groups, but real constructive dialogue that could lead to a real outcome with a real impact on the national debt and put us on a more sustainable path.
I don't know. He's talking like a Republican.
Country and our children. Amen. And the people said, with that, I yield as much time as my ranking member shall desire to make his opening.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate your passion for this issue. And I also, I hope they know I respect every single one of my
There's like
colleagues
2 people
on
there.
both sides of the aisle,
Interesting.
and appreciate their sincerity when it comes to this issue. I don't know how to go about this without being repetitive, because we just had a hearing on exactly this topic a couple weeks ago. And so I don't want to repeat everything that I said then, but some of that overlap will obviously be unavoidable.
Yet here I go.
For those of you who were at our last hearing just a couple weeks ago on this topic, you know that I have real skepticism when it comes to the topic of commissions. I thought the panel that we had a couple weeks ago of those members, former members of the House and current members or current member of the House who participated in prior commissions, talked about their experiences. Every one of those commissions ultimately ended in failure. So rather than focus on commission, which ultimately is about process, I want to focus my remarks actually on substance, and very specifically on Social Security. Here's why. As someone who watches the Republican presidential debates,
it's the world's most
I have been
ill-attended hearing.
viewing habits. I know.
It is the.
I have been struck by how a number of the
commission.
leading candidates
So they're holding a hearing.
have flat
on
out said
the
they want to raise
potential
the
for
retirement age.
fiscal commission.
One of the leading
Joe Manchin
candidates who
is
just got a major endorsement from a
grandstanding.
Republican
same
establishment
with Mitt
group
Romney.
yesterday, she has repeatedly said we need to raise the retirement age from 65. She seems to be entirely unaware that the retirement age for Social Security hasn't been 65 for quite some time.
So I'm going to
Almost a decade ago, when my father, after 50 years of hard work at blue-collar jobs, from the age of 16 to the age of 67,
well, it
went ahead and retired.
potential gal.
His retirement age then was 66. In a few years, it'll be 67 because of changes that were made in a law that passed this body in 1983. So if someone wants to send an email to the governor of South Carolina,
I'll try and write
let
more
her know
Christmas
this,
songs during
it
it.
would be
Maybe that'll
wonderful.
make it more interesting.
I would also like people to know a few other facts about Social Security. Greatest anti-poverty program in American history. Just think.
So he's
back
on the
in the
record.
throes of the Great Depression,
He's on the record.
46% of seniors lived in poverty. Today, that number is a fraction of that. So those who are saying that in order to save the program, we have to extract exorbitant cuts, or we have to raise the retirement age, I don't know, to 70, beyond. That's a little like saying we need to burn the village in order to save it. It just isn't true. And as I pointed out the very last hearing, I have actually put down a plan on paper that would extend the life of the Social Security Trust Fund through the year 2100. I have a piece of legislation, Sheldon Whitehouse, the
does that mean people get
senator
like $5 a
from
month?
Rhode Island, who is the chairman of our counterpart, the Senate Budget Committee.
What is it?
He and I have a bill that would do that for
What
Social
does it
Security,
mean?
simply by bringing in
What do you mean?
more revenues,
What do you
those who
mean?
make more than $400,000 a year.
What do
Now,
you mean?
some might object to more revenues
What do you
coming in
mean?
to the Social Security
What
pot.
do you mean?
I would say two things in response. First, and this comes up every single time I have a town hall, whether it was in person or a teletown hall. Maybe some of you
Every
have had
single
the same
time?
experience. For years and years, Social Security Trust Fund was running a surplus. The 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. And here's where I would agree with the chairman. Congresses, under the control of both parties, instead of using that surplus to set it aside for future retirees so it would be there, they decided to spend that surplus to meet what were the needs of the current day. That is a tragedy. I remember those great Saturday Night Live skits about Al Gore and making fun of his lockbox in the year 2000. But he was right. Had that surplus been saved in a lockbox or whatever you want to call it, there would be more revenue available now that those who were earning those wages to pay those Social Security taxes back in the 70s and 80s and 90s.
I'm gonna have two
and
hands to type.
now that they're
Try to find
retiring
something more
today.
interesting. Let me see what else.
So it is only fair that more revenue is brought into the system when you consider back when there was more revenue than was going out to meet the needs of retirees then, that money was spent on things that were other than Social Security. So I think that it is entirely appropriate when it comes to extending the life of the Social Security Trust Fund. I would also point out, and this has come up repeatedly throughout the year that we've had here in this room of hearings. When you take the terrorism and standing with our troops who have faced relentless attacks from Iran proxies, then a yes vote on this bill should be a no-brainer. Weakness invites aggression.
Here's a dumb group of people. Here's another dumb group of people.
Weakness on the world stage continues to endanger us all. And with that,
Rumble. Oh God, you are a bad influence.
Thank you, Whip. As you can see, we have
Mike's little John.
3 different committees that are relentlessly working to get the facts
Are
out
you guys
about this
done?
investigation
Oh, that's
that's been ongoing for
terrible.
months.
How long?
The one thing that you can see as a steady, consistent theme, where it started
Biden
with Jamie
impeachment
Comer's committee,
inquiry.
Jim Jordan's committee, ultimately Jason
What the
Smith's committee.
fuck? They've got a
That every
logo.
step of the way, they've been consistently
They've
going
got a
after the
logo.
facts to try to find out exactly what happened with all of these web companies, these shell companies, that whistleblowers were coming forward
They've got a logo.
saying it wasn't just about Hunter Biden, that ultimately money was going
Like,
into
hey.
Joe Biden's checking account. What you saw at the White House
It's
over and over again was a constant changing
Oh,
of the
look at
story.
this for
The White House has changed its story multiple times as the facts have emerged over and over again. And different, if you look at some of these poster boards, you see checks.
Oh,
You see more facts that continue.
Brandon
to be
House
released.
is live.
As more facts come out, the
Let me
White
see what
House
he's talking
continues to
about.
try to change their tune to cover up what really happened. As Jamie Comer talked about, tens of thousands of pages
Oh, he's
of
doing
alias
news 7
information
days
still
ago.
at the White House that they won't turn over
His
to Congress.
specialty.
What are they trying to hide at the White House? Why won't the White House fully
Brandon
comply?
with no
So
D
we're going to be relentless
specialty
and
is
continuing to get the facts.
doing
All
news
3
stories
committees
7 or to
working
10
through
days
this
after they
impeachment
actually
inquiry
happen.
to ultimately get the
Breaking
facts
news.
out and find out where all this money was coming from, foreign countries, ultimately into the pockets of various members of the Biden family to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. So this will not slow down. And in the meantime, the House will continue to do its work here. As
We're at
talked
the
about today,
Speaker
we start
Mike
a process
Johnson
of
and
moving a
the
few
House
bills on the
GOP
floor
leaders
this
hold
week.
news
Tomorrow, we're gonna actually
briefing
have a vote
as
on that
Congress
Iran bill.
goes
$6
Israel.
billion Joe Biden negotiated to give to Iran.
I'm wondering
Let's
when they're
think
going to do a
what
vote
happens here.
on
This was negotiated prior
Poopy Pants.
to
What's his
Hamas
name? Santos.
invading Israel, murdering Israelis, taking hostages.
Oh,
We see a
Steve.
ceasefire right now as
Steve,
more hostages
Steve.
hopefully get released.
This
But in the
was
meantime,
deliberate.
Hamas still
Well,
holds
it's
hostages.
really not.
Where
It's
does
not much
Hamas
of
get their
deliberate
funding?
with me,
They
Badger.
get
Come
their
on.
funding from Iran. Everybody knows that.
Consider
The
the
Biden
source.
administration knows it, yet the Biden administration opposes this legislation because they want the Ayatollah in Iran to get that $6 billion. Why would Joe Biden want the Ayatollah to have access to
He
$6
doesn't.
billion knowing it goes to fund Hamas and other terrorists?
NGOs who support
We're gonna be
the
taking a stronger stand to
humanitarian
freeze that money
efforts are the ones who
tomorrow.
receive the
That
$6
will be voted on the
billion.
House
So
floor. We also say,
there's that.
as more illegals pour into our country, millions more illegals come into
You don't
our
call
country.
people
They're
illegals.
using
You call
federal
them
lands in the Biden administration to house
refugees,
illegals. They're waiving environmental
people
regulations that military
people who are
veterans can't use,
immigrating.
homeless
You call
veterans
them
cannot
those.
use today.
They're people.
But they'll waive every environmental regulation to allow people coming here illegally to use those very same federal lands. And we're saying you can't use those federal lands to house illegals. That vote will be on the House floor tomorrow as well. So the House is going to continue to do its work.
This
as we
is their
relentlessly
cheerleading.
pursue
This is their
facts
pep
in this
rally.
case. And leading that effort is our speaker, Mike Johnson.
Mike's Little Johnson. Oh, I'm going to put my mask on because guess what?
Thank you all
COVID's
for being
airborne.
here. These these are serious times, and this is a very serious.
Please wear your
I've
mask.
said
Look at
many
even
times
Steve
over the last
Scalise
few
is wearing a
years that
mask.
impeachment has been
Aww.
an issue that we've all become all too familiar with.
Oh, Steve, is
Next to
COVID
the
real?
declaration of war, you can make an argument that impeachment may be the heaviest power that Congress holds. That constitutional responsibility lies with the House. We have a duty.
We have a
to pursue the
duty. He said
facts where
duty.
they lead. John Adams famously said facts are stubborn things, and you heard a recitation of that here this morning. These facts are alarming. They're alarming to the
Oh, we
American
missed all the
people, they're
facts.
alarming
Oh, well.
to us. And so while we take no pleasure in
How many times
the
I posted in
proceedings here, we
Canada the
have
true
a
asylum laws of the
responsibility to do
U.S.
it. We're very proud of the work of these three chairmen that you've seen here, Chairman Comer and Jordan and Smith. They've done an exceptional job in uncovering the obvious corruption. You've heard it here summarized this morning, very succinctly.
Is it obvious?
Biden and the Biden family.
I don't know. I feel like it's not really that
urge
obvious.
people to continue this process, but to
I'm
do
just gonna
it
say.
methodically and transparently. Many of you know I'm a lawyer, I'm a constitutional law attorney. I served on President Trump's impeachment defense team twice. And we lamented openly.
I didn't know that.
How the Democrats politicized that process. They were brazenly political, and how they brought those meritless impeachment
You
charges.
can hardly say it with a straight face.
What you're seeing here is exactly the opposite. We are the rule of law team. The Republican Party stands for the rule of law.
Oh,
People in charge of this are doing this thoroughly,
oh,
carefully, methodically. They're investigating and gathering all the facts.
really?
And to do this appropriately and to do it in a manner.
Did they talk to Lev
Our
Parnas?
constitutional responsibility requires time. It requires a sound process. You
Lev
don't
remembers.
rush something like this. You can't if you're going to have fidelity to the Constitution. These chairmen are committed to proceeding in that manner, and that's what you're seeing. We've heard from whistleblowers.
Oh,
Biden
well,
business
thank
associates, legal
you.
experts,
Thank you,
and
Mike.
now we have reached the point in the investigation that we need to hear from a
So
handful of really
kind.
key witnesses in this.
Good morning,
The
Rose.
chairmen have issued a few dozen subpoenas, and we expect that those would be
Do the
complied with
membership
expeditious manner.
dance.
We're
Get the
not
membership.
prejudging this.
Oh,
We
you
will
can't hear
follow the
them.
facts wherever they lead.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I should.
that's our constitutional duty. And I fully support our chairman and their efforts, and we'll have a lot more to share on this in the days ahead.
Hi, Paulina.
We'll take a few questions. Manu, front.
There's also going to be a vote on the House floor tomorrow to expel one of your members, George Santos. You have not said if you support this. Do you support expelling George Santos?
I'll say this. We had a Republican conference meeting in the last hour.
It's okay.
There were opinions shared on both sides. I'll answer it this way, Manu. Listen, I said that the Republican Party is the rule of law team, and we are. We believe in the rule of law. There are people of good faith who make an argument, both pro and con, for the expulsion resolution for Santos. There are people who say you have to uphold the rule of law and allow for someone to be convicted in a criminal court before this tough penalty would be exacted on someone.
Really?
Precedent so far.
Is
there are
it?
others who say,
Has
well,
it?
upholding the rule of law requires us to take this step now because some of the things that he's alleged to have done, the House Ethics Committee having done their job, are infractions against the House itself.
Oh.
So what we've said as the leadership team is we're going to allow people to vote on motions. I think it's the only appropriate thing we can do. We've not whipped the vote, and we wouldn't.
We've not hesitate whip the vote.
Thoughtfully and in good faith.
We've not
I
hesitate
have
whip
real
the vote.
reservations about doing this. I'm concerned about a precedent that may be set for that.
He doesn't want to lose his seat.
Everybody's working through that, and we'll see how they vote tomorrow.
We understand.
Yeah. Front row, and now go here. Thank you.
There are complicated negotiations underway over supplemental. You'll be meeting with House and Senate Republicans later today. Many questions we could ask, but I want to ask first, do you believe there should be conditions on any aid for Israel? And then
Badger, yay! Hooray!
Yeah, there's a lot of
To Badger, yay! That's the best.
And that happened all the way through the Thanksgiving holidays.
I'm sure it is.
And it's gone on in earnest, and it will today. I'm going to go
It's
visit
Mike's little Johnson.
our Senate Republican colleagues at their steering lunch in a couple of hours, and we'll be talking about that in detail.
I'm practicing.
I'm not going to give you a
I'm
lot of that
practicing my
detail
leg
today
moves.
because some of those negotiations are going on. I'll tell you with regard to Israel, the House did our job. We passed a bipartisan support package, 14.5 billion, which is exactly what was requested, and we sent it over to the Senate, and it's been sitting on Chuck Schumer's desk. If they really believe in that priority, they'll take care of it. We added a pay for, as you all know, and it shocked the system of Washington. We're trying to get back to this fundamental principle of
Oh,
fiscal
the
responsibility.
Bill Clinton
I
days?
don't want, and I don't think we should go and borrow money from some other country to help one of our allies. I think we can take care of our responsibilities, but do it in a responsible
I'm
manner.
sorry.
We're
I
trying to
can't.
reintroduce the idea of fiscal responsibility here. Let me remind everybody here. We have a $33.7 trillion federal debt, I think is the latest figure. If you pull up U.S. debt clock on your
It's funny.
smartphone, you can't even follow the debt with a naked eye. It goes up so quickly.
Oh.
Moody's has downgraded our credit rating. The
Oh.
Treasury Department announced a few weeks
I wonder
ago
why.
that we'll borrow $1.5 trillion
Because the Republicans don't know how to. Republicans don't know
We're
how
not
to.
on a sustainable trajectory.
No,
We're
it's
spending.
because the Republicans
Part of
don't
the
know how to
negotiations on
govern.
the supplemental, part of the negotiations on the
So
remaining
there.
appropriations bills, and everything that's on our plate is viewed by us through that lens, that we have to restore this idea of fiscal sanity. And so we're pressing that matter. With regard to red lines, we believe that the border must be secured. And the vast majority of the people in this country
This
agree
is so
with
good. I'm going to put it up
and when
twice.
we all went home for Thanksgiving
So
and
fun.
met with constituents and friends and family and had dinner as you all did. This was a big topic of discussion.
I'm going to screenshot that one.
Concerned about their
Good one,
safety and
Rob.
security and all the things, all the societal ills that happen at the border. So that is a top priority for us in all these negotiations to get that secured. And we need policy changes, not just further funding to process people. So you're going to see that as a continuing theme, and I'll leave it there for now. Hang on, let me go to the back. Yep.
The official act that was corrupt that Republicans are alleging today was that when he was vice president, Joe Biden pushed for the firing of a Ukrainian prosecutor. And this was the subject of the impeachment of Donald Trump. And you had
That's their main
a lot of
issue.
State Department officials who came in and said,
That's their
this wasn't Joe
main
Biden's policy,
thing.
this was our policy.
Are you
He didn't do this to benefit
kidding
his
me?
son. He did this because we wanted him to do
It
it.
was
So do they all commit
international pressure
perjury,
to do it.
or are you going to bring them back for more interviews? Why are Republicans just ignoring all that testimony?
No one's ignoring testimony. Let me tell you the top 4 pieces of evidence with regard to Biden. I just got a bullet points
Come on.
here. 2014 to
How about Lev
2019,
Furnace?
Biden family members and their affiliate companies received over $15 million from foreign companies and foreign nationals. These are all facts. Facts are stubborn things. That included Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Romania, and China.
Let's check
Biden
your
business
finance.
associates received an additional $9 million. The chairman here have uncovered a lot of facts. President Biden has, of course, lied at least 16 times about his involvement in his family's business.
16.
There are at least 22 examples of Joe
16.
Biden speaking with or meeting with Hunter Biden's foreign business associates. The Oversight Committee recently released 2 checks. You see the graphics up here today. These checks are to Joe Biden. One is for $40,000 from China.
That deserves some.
Another is for $200,000 from a now bankrupt healthcare company that his brother James Biden apparently swindled. Listen,
What?
this
Are you the
investigation has
judge
to
and the
continue
jury?
because, again, as we said, those facts
Are you
stubborn
the
things.
judge and the jury,
I'm not
sir?
going to answer outside questions about
Ooh.
this. I'll let the facts speak for themselves. And I think you're going to see
Oh,
a lot more
because
developments.
I don't have any answers to your questions. That's what he really means. I don't know how to answer questions. Like mailbox and old. Oh, Tom Emmerich. Great. All right. Well, okay. Hold on. Okay. Well, guess what? We're gonna. Gal Suburban is a horrible influence on me. But I want to see who's on right now on Rumble. Oh, wait, let's make sure what's going down. The house is in recess. Oh, they're in recess. Okay, well, that's good because I actually want this channel on anyway. Why aren't I subscribed to that? I thought I was. Okay. Let me see. What's live right now? Chris Hoare. All right. Well, welcome to my world.
Generators for your home.
Wow.
We've got portable solar panels. We got the sat phones with
Oh, here we go.
ridiculous deals on those. With all the free
Selling,
extras we're getting,
kit.
and you get an additional 10% off everything
Thank you, Gal.
if you use Cyber 10 when you check out.
It's
So
the
Steve,
war
they can call us at
room.
941-955-1020.
The
That's
war
941-955-1020.
room.
Today is the
We're
last day
selling
of the Cyber
feelings
Monday deal. So we
to
really encourage people to get over
go
there and take control
bury
of
your
your communications and take
head.
control of your power and do not
When
be
the
reliant on
game
the
over
utility companies and the central government.
tomorrow, some sugar you hit them in
941-955-1020. Go and talk to one of their experts right now.
the same
These guys put up
trouble
great
you
deals,
used
fantastic deals,
to
and
that
you need it
hole
more than ever.
them in.
Not from our lips, from the lips of the Eric Schmidts,
What should
the
we tell
Axioses,
Steve
and
Bannon?
Mayorkas, right there.
What should we tell Steve
The
Bannon?
unholy trinity.
See, hold
You
on.
heard it. They tell you what you're going to do.
Oh,
So what
hi,
are you going to do about it? One thing you're going to do about it is prepare,
So
become
happy to
self-reliant,
see
become
you.
independent,
I hope you're
an
well.
independent sovereign citizen.
So I've been thinking
Chris Orr,
about
thank you, brother. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for putting up these deals for our team,
Margaret.
for our group. We
Here for the
appreciate it.
lulz. That's a totally correct
You
use.
get great feedback from the posse.
Laura,
Okay, do I have the Eric Schmidt clip? Okay, fine. Let me play the Eric Schmidt. I want to thank the team for doing this. I've
I want to
been adamant
tell
about this for a couple of
you,
days because
I
it's very
love
weak.
my
Eric Schmidt,
hair.
remember, he is the head of the company that kind of oversees Google. He is
Yeah, I
not
say.
a programmer or coder,
You're
but he's a guy that's caused enormous problems over the years. And one of the reasons Google's in every aspect of your life. Let's play that, and I want to bring Joe Allen back.
Yeah.
Current phase, you're going to see AI doctor, AI tutor, enormous progress in science, enormous progress in language with all the associated issues. If you look at the UK event, which I was part of, the UK government took the bait, took the ideas, decided to leave. It's very good at this. And they came out with very sensible guidelines. And because the US and the UK have worked really well together, there's a group within the National Security NSC here that is particularly good at this. And they got it right, and that creates this EO, which is the longest EO in, I think, in histories of executive orders, which says that each of the aspects of our government are to get organized around this. If you look at what we're doing collectively, it's not enough. We're not claiming this is the end solution, but it's the beginning.
You've been very focused on Ukraine and.
Okay, each of the
Just
aspects of
want
our
to pull
government
that one part that's
will be organized around this.
brush it down.
Each of the aspects of our government will be organized around this. And when he's talking about the British, this is not, this is not the Royal and Ancient working with the USGA.
He's liking
This is MI5 and MI6 working with the CIA, DIA, DNI, and DHS, Mayorkas, who was just up at the beginning of saying that, hey, you're the domestic extremist.
Remember,
false narratives and ideologies of hate and false narratives are the problem. That would be you. Write that down. This would be me. Take that number 2 pencil out. This would be me. They're talking about me.
Wait until he plays like the
Joe
real
Allen,
religious music.
thoughts,
that goes out.
observations?
Hi, Luke. How are you? Welcome.
Steve, this is
Oh,
just a
Diana.
continuation of the executive order that we covered around this time last year.
Oh, good. Here's
That
Joe.
saw the
Here's Joe
fusion
Allen
of
about
the
transhumanism.
military-industrial complex
He's
with
really
the
upset. Thank you
biomedical
so much,
establishment.
Diana.
This sees the fusion of big tech and endeavor towards AI and AGI with the security state and with the federal government as a whole. Since leaving Google, Eric Schmidt has worked very closely with the federal government, now with the Biden administration.
Remember that guy like Bob
integrate artificial intelligence and all of the other sorts of transhuman technologies that we cover into the government, and also to pave the way for those technologies with the government.
He reminds me of that guy. He talks like that. He talks a little bit like that.
The executive order, in fact, Biden's executive order signed October 30th.
Transhumanism is really, really scary.
The EO for
Buy my
safe,
book.
Secure, and
I'm a little
trustworthy
obsessed with Charlize
AI.
Theron.
The Artificial Intelligence Bill of Rights
just
drafted by the Biden administration.
Charlize Theron,
One of the top
okay?
items is to
Unplugged.
create
Have you seen it?
safe
It's
and
fantastic.
effective AI. So in the context of the security state, which has now been turned against Americans quite openly and is now being used to suppress political opposition, what we're seeing is a kind of declaration that AI is going to be a major part of the crafting of reality for the public. two elements to really focus on there. You
The
heard
two
about
elements to really
Marcus
focus on
talking
there
about
is the
disinformation,
transhumanism and
you
all
heard
of
Eric
the
Schmidt talk
signs
about
that you see in
AI
all the
education.
emails.
What you're talking about
Yeah,
is the
AI.
automatic
AI.
labeling and
What you're talking
removal
about
of
is sex bots
what are
teaching our children.
ultimately
That's what you're talking about,
unwanted
Steve.
bits of
That's what you're
information,
talking
aka
about.
misinformation
You're
and
talking about
disinformation by
sex
way of
bots
artificial
teaching
intelligence.
our kids.
And you're talking
How are you
about
going to
the
do that?
inculcation
Diana,
or
you're so sweet. You
indoctrination
do not have
of
to do
narratives
that. You're
which
such a love.
are desired
Thank
by the
you.
regime,
Oh,
that
you
being
shouldn't have to do
AI
that.
education and this AI doctor, the AI doctor who
Ah,
presumably come the next
presumably.
pandemic or medical
Wait,
crisis
I don't see
will be
neon.
the authority
Where's neon?
on what is and isn't truth
Define intelligence.
regarding
It's
people's
not
medical
artificial.
care.
That's for
This
sure.
is again a fusion
Max.
of
Max is
government and
back.
private
Good
industry. It
morning.
is very Chinese style in that regard, a
Good
public-private
morning,
partnership,
Max.
as
Good
we
morning,
hear constantly from the World Economic Forum.
The state capitalism. I told you this is what they've taken the Chinese model. The Chinese didn't become more liberal Democrats. The CCP, the criminal thugs there.
My problem.
They set up a perfect system of state capitalism and authoritarian control.
Oh my God. So
A
funny.
public-private partnership. That's what they mean when they say that. And look who's saying it, Schmidt, Mayorkas. You couldn't have the worst demons on earth. Talk to me one more time about what happened yesterday, the CTL. Give me about this announcement about this working of the Brits with the Americans. They say the Brits do this very well. As you know,
very well.
Britain's military is not what it was. It don't have the Royal Navy that it used to be at the Nelson's Navy. You don't have the British Army is nowhere what it was in North Africa and
Jump scare alert.
ally
Oh, you're very
Normandy.
You're very
But British intelligence, MI5 and MI6, top drawer. They're quite sophisticated.
Yeah.
As you saw about what they tried to do to President Trump. Talk to me about that, Joe Allen.
Good morning.
Yeah, right as we were watching the AI summit put on by Axios, a story was produced by Michael Schellenberg and Matt Taibbi. It regards the documents proving that there was collusion with both the UK government and the US government to suppress information online. Facebook was one of the major collaborators. The organization CTIL, or Cyber Threat Intelligence League, initiated by a defense researcher in the UK.
Oh, Neon, you got a membership.
Chris Krebs
so cool.
of our own Department of Homeland Security.
Steve,
and,
you got a
this was in the
membership.
lead up
Super
to
cool.
2020. This was in the lead up to the COVID crisis. It was in the lead up to the election
Badger's
fraud
a new member.
crisis.
This is so
And
fun.
very much like the Twitter files, but as Schellenberger says,
fuck is
perhaps even more important because of its scale and intensity, you saw the collusion of the security state, both in the UK and the US, with
May
big
2024.
tech. Again,
Oh my
Facebook
God.
was a major actor in this to identify and suppress information
Oh,
that
Max, I was thinking about you.
undesirable,
hearing
as
about
they would
how
say,
cold it is around
misinformation or
Oh,
disinformation.
girl.
But as pretty much anyone with their head screwed on straight at this point knows, what that ultimately meant was any information that challenged the authority of the NIH, of Anthony Fauci, that challenged the authority of the CDC, or challenged the authority of those in the federal government calling the 2020 election the safest, most secure election in history.
Anthony Fauci and
basically,
masking
what we're talking about is a
1984
style information suppression operation.
Crazy
that
Ivan,
point
you were gifted a
involved human beings
membership.
utilizing algorithms to identify and suppress speech. But going forward, I believe that you're going to see much more autonomous uses of information suppression technologies. So basically, AIs that scour the internet and are programmed to automatically flag and remove information. And perhaps even worse,
AI,
a
and
lot
then
of
it's
the
the cabal, and then
information
it's
is
school
oftentimes
boards
considered
and
dangerous,
parental
a threat.
rights, and then it's like, sort of like whatever.
Joe, real quickly, how do people get to you? How do they get to all your content?
Where's Ivan?
You can find me at JOEBOTXYZ on Getter and Twitter. My website, joebot.xyz.
Wow,
You can see
that's
my
pretty
upcoming
cool.
tour dates
That's
there.
very cool.
Book available, Dark Eon, Transhumanism, and the
Oh.
War Against Humanity. Everywhere books are
Aw,
sold. Thank you very much, Steve.
you. Boop, boop.
Thank you, brother. We're gonna take a short break.
Oh,
We've got Gaffney.
oh no, here we go.
Brent,
We're gonna go out with
Navarro.
some
We're gonna
music here.
talk CCP, and we're
I'm
gonna
gonna
talk
sing.
economy.
Dun, 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 the
Economy, capital
CCP.
markets, all of
We
it
do the
next
theme
in
song.
Lord.
Come on, Steve. Don't let me know. Yes. There's Wang Guo, or whatever his name is. To the phone song. He's a bone to the phone song. To the bone song. Let's get down the CCP. Hey, we're a bunch of passion. Margaret, thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you. Oh, you give me the very. I'm humbled. Do. Oh yeah, I want to pull that up. I wonder if it's on his channel. Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo, Scooby Doo. We're gonna take it back. Oh, this guy's a little penis tip himself. I'm gonna turn you down. What's this? Oh, Jesus, this guy also is a fuckwad. Hey, there's that other fuckwad again. If you take down the CCP, Amazon will have little to sell. Uh-oh, Santarello's coming in with the facts. Let's see what the chat's saying this morning. All right, Mike Johnson, another loser. Read the word, folks. It's laid out for us. Chat G. Okay, I can't keep up with that. All right, they're going in for the kill, all or nothing. They know if Trump gets in there, it's over. That's why they'll do anything to win. This is dangerous. God-given rights by God is your soul, folks. Morning, Purdue. AI plus DC equals tyranny. I don't know how, but it does. MAGA will have to be artful with words to trick algorithms and AI. Dang, fire. Fire purifies all, and that's just not coincidental. Brendan O'Connell on Rumble is Unit 8200. Truth found there. I'll tell you, that guy knows how to bake those conspiracy theories like right good. All right, let's see one more thing. Let's see. What's am I talking about here? Okay, the dweebs want to impose their agenda on AI. AI will call out their bullshit. Oh, good. So this guy, Palermo's really convinced the robots have our best interests at heart. I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. Let's see. I hate everything evil. I really do. Lamentation is my screen name for a reason. When transformer-based large language models reach this level of complexity, the developers can't even predict its behavior. Sven, I hate to tell you, but your multi-words are wasted on this chat. But thank you for playing our game. Well, there's Purdue. Good morning, Purdue. Dan, it's always good to see you in here. Aloha, Purdue. AI, in air quotes, needs explaining like this. It's the government using the internet to restrict all our autonomy, free choice, and decisions. I'm going to imagine that says decision making. Decisions and our mobility. Boom. Done.
Frank Gaffney joins us. Frank
Gaffney.
Around today
Frank fucking Gaffney.
But this gets
what
to
you got to say, Frank? Oops. I'm sorry. Oh, hi.
Of the financial crisis, the adding the $1 trillion. She comes over for a bailout. We did a special last night on the Taiwan election.
Sorry, I missed.
We basically reinforced the fact. Remember, Taiwan's never been unified with China. It's not. This reunification is the wrong term. But we essentially signed off on the one China policy, which President Trump kept as more than strategic ambiguity. It was a free and prosperous Taiwan, the Republic of China. She needed Biden to do that, which he counted to. Plus, the 400 traders, of which our book, The Indictment, named names like the Larry Finks of the world and Steve Schwarzman sitting right next to Xi and giving him a standing ovation and a toast. He needs a bailout, and your tax dollars and your pension fund money is going to do that bailout. When we got the CCP, they could collapse just like the shadow banking groups in China are collapsing, just like the regional banks are collapsing, just like the commercial and the residential real estate Ponzi scheme is collapsing.
That's what we're going to do.
Why are we giving this guy the red carpet treatment Frank, when the evidence and even more evidence is coming out in Newsom's People's Republic of California that shows that it ain't Wuhan anymore. They're putting the biolabs in the United States of America, sir.
He did a great job on it, Diana.
I've
You need to.
given to say, Steve, instead of the
I'll,
red carpet treatment,
find
which
it.
she certainly got from Joe Biden, yes, but also Gavin Newsom, and as you say, the 400 traitors.
That was the first time I sang
We
that
should
all the
be
way through
triggering a red alert in this
I hope I
country
can do it.
because just down the road from where they were meeting,
My mom.
in a community called Reedley outside of Fresno,
Thanks. Oh, that's
we now know, thanks to a report, an investigation by the House Select Committee
Frank is
on
an
the
asshole.
Chinese Communist Party, that there was a bio laboratory
I was over on Dino.
that
That's
had
showing
in it
Dino the
some
love.
20 dangerous pathogens, including not only COVID and HIV and
love. I love it.
Well, it appears Ebola, but also the means by which they could be replicated. And in the case of COVID, at least, genetically modified mice designed to contract the disease and then spread it around. And Steve, you've done a marvelous job talking up something that I think every American ought to be scared.
I don't think I'm actually alive.
And that is not just the general problem of our open border, but the fact that
open border. There's another one. Drink. Oh, Frank's frozen.
Tens of thousands of Chinese military-aged men,
Logan.
unaccompanied, fit, carrying identical backpacks and the like, have been migrating into the United States across our open southern border, looking an awful lot to trained observers like Michael Yon to be Chinese People's Liberation Army special operators.
Huge disappointment.
Now, if those special operators marry up with not only this facility, which is fortunately at last been closed in Reedley, but perhaps others.
Signal right there, Normie.
You could have a biological warfare attack against our country from within.
I love Rumble Chat.
That would make the pandemic 1.0 look like a day at the beach. And we've got no attention. It took months for the CDC and the FBI to pay any attention to this laboratory at all, to get in there to inspect what was going on.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
is,
this thing, it reeks of not just willful blindness, I'm sorry to say,
on the bandage
or even just elite capture, as the Chinese
Article
Communist
on
Party calls it.
He's
And we talk about it at length in the book,
Let me
The
know if
Indictment,
sound
which
goes out for you
you published here at War Room Press. But
I'm
this reeks of absolute betrayal.
Oh,
of our country, of a willingness
Democracy
to
Dino.
not only submit,
That's what it is.
but to
Democracy
sell it out.
Dino, the other
And
channel.
the American people's lives are on the line.
I was off.
On an epic
I got
scale.
banned
If
for a
this
week on
biological
Lolo's
warfare
Lounge
capability,
YouTube
which
channel, so I was
recall,
using my Democracy
they
Dino channel.
demonstrated
if
a
I
proof
needed
of
to stream
concept
anything.
of how
And
devastating it could
today,
be with COVID.
my
An actual
computer is fixed.
unrestricted warfare attack.
Basically, they
described
said
in
there
the
was
book by
nothing
that
wrong with
name
it.
in
very
1999 as
frustrating
one of the elements of the kind of unrestricted
at the same time,
warfare the Chinese Communist Party needed to wage against the United States.
Oh, yeah.
They've
And
done
then
it.
today,
and I'm
my
fearful that
Lolo's
they've got a
Lounge
lot
was
more
up,
of
so
this
I
in
said,
store
"I'm
for us.
back,
We're not getting
bitches."
cracking,
Frank,
shutting these kinds
where
of
they
things
go-
down.
where they go-
Bitches.
You've got one of your minutes today, but I want to go to links. But before we get all your social media, how people see more about this lab in California, I've been told there's from DHS numbers, there's 100,000
This is
fighting
social
age
credit
males
score.
from mainland
Oh,
China.
no,
That
social
is
media.
10 combat divisions of special forces. Am I incorrect in that rough estimate? 10 combat divisions.
You could be right. It could be high. It could
Alert.
be low. Who knows?
Two
We
shirts.
haven't got a clue
Two
really
shirts.
who's coming
I
across
repeat,
that border. But
only
I
two
think you're
today.
in the ballpark at the very least, Steve. But remember,
Do you guys remember?
19 guys.
You guys remember when
inflicted $1 trillion worth of damage to our country and our economy and our people.
he has a
on
new
9/11.
blow dryer, Margaret?
You're talking about 1,000 of these guys?
He went to
multiples of 10,000.
Dry
I
bar.
mean, it's just unbelievable,
He stopped
and it's
at
been
Dry
done
Bar
deliberately
in
by a controlled
Georgetown.
asset.
before he
of the
went to
Chinese
the
Communist
studio.
Party, as our friend Sam Faddis calls him, Joe Biden, the commander-in-chief of the United
Oh
States.
man, I know.
To find out a lot more about this,
It's a
the
dance.
report is published by the Select Committee on the CCP
know if you
at
can
their
hear it.
website, and I commend that to you all. We're going to do one of our
Let's bring down
Committee on the Present Danger China
the-
webinars tomorrow,
Even though
Thursday
they
at
pay
1
me,
p.m.
I don't
really
care if
encourage
they
people
slay
to,
me.
subscribe to these programs,
I'm
but we're going to drill down on
gonna-
this
I
big
gotta
time
move
with Sam
the
Faddis and a
kingdom
number of other
down
experts.
the
Steve
yeah, but they're all
Hatfield
getting
among them.
grayer, Diana. All of them are
They're
getting
great.
gray.
We'll
Look at him,
push
he's
everybody
falling
to that
asleep.
free webinar tomorrow
Are you
at
still
1
speaking,
p.m.
sir?
Eastern time
Having
on this very
squeezed with
topic.
blowout
Frank, real
bars.
quickly, what's your social media? Where do people get to you?
Yeah, he just got a Brazilian
I'm
blowout.
at Frank Gaffney. The
Frank on the other.
program
Oh,
we do here
Frank.
on Real America's
That
Voice
picture's
is
a little
also
old,
to be
isn't
found
it?
at
Let's be honest.
securingamerica.tv.
We be honest about that right
And
now.
a great resource is also
It's an old
securefreedom.org,
picture, Boo.
Center
Come
for Security
on.
Policy, as
Come
well as
on. Oh, get her. That's a real Nazi
presentdangerchina.org, where
site.
you need to register for that webinar. Please do
go
so.
and
Subscribe to all of them.
Give us all your information so we can data scrape.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
presentdangerchina.org.
We're going to take a short break.
Oh,
We're gonna
really?
come
Another
back.
break? Okay.
CBS News, not Gateway Pundit, not Citizens Free
Gateway
Press. CBS News reports
Not
a
the
typical
bad-
American
okay, did
household
you hear
must
what he
spend
just
an
said there? He
additional
basically
$11,500 annually
crap.
just to maintain the same standard of living they enjoyed on January 20th of 2021
Oh
when
my
Donald Trump
God.
left the White House. Right before inflation soared to 40-year highs,
Imagine where
according
we'd
to
be
recent
if
analysis
that
of government
other
data.
dude had won.
11,500. That's what it costs the average American
Oh, please.
if they want to keep the same standard of living of the 4 years of peace and prosperity of Donald John Trump.
Ridiculous.
They will do everything in their power to stop him. Short commercial break, 90 seconds. Back in a moment.
Yay. Let's get down. Let's see. Wait, they're really not playing that song as much as they used to. Here we go. I mean, I might switch from this, but I do want to read some more of the chat. I know I used to like orange. I still like orange. What am I talking about? Cowboy Logic. Boy, the freedom, the Chuds love this episode. Boy, they really do. Okay, here we go. Wait, I gotta get down here where there's some more fresh. Old saying, Satan Army needs members. They willing to steal your rights into the election. I don't know what that means. AI to control votes, money, thought, you name it. Ah, nice. Mike's Little Johnson sucks. Does Joe Allen have AI development experience? Saber Mom, Saber Man, I don't know. Sir, wrong show. Hi, Purdue. Boy, Purdue's popular. I'm just going to tell you right now, Purdue owns this chat. I don't know. They must be OG. Just wait until they us AI in elections. What? Okay. Whatever. Whoa. What happened? Wait, here we go. Now they are saying the supposed U model is approaching AGI, but I think it is bullshit. Adjusted gross income? I'm very confused. Spend dongle? I could not be more confused by your statement. Not understanding all the Max Little Johnson has proven himself as a true conservative with America. He's dealing with a very small thing. So AI will admit on medical vacation. Oh, is that where Margaret? Is that where Fish wants to go?
This is the primal scream of a dying regime.
I am very
Pray for our enemies.
I'm very
We're going medieval on these people.
primal scene.
There's not got a free shot at all these networks lying about the people. The people have had a belly full. I know you don't like hearing that. I know you're trying to do
with my
everything
bad cheap, all the money in the world, and
it's going to happen.
And where do people like that go?
All the money in the
share
world,
big
and he has
line?
those teeth.
MAGA media. I wish in my soul, I wish
The evil
that any of these
Jake
people
Tapper.
Ask yourself, what is my task?
Me?
What is my
I don't need a
That
filter.
answer is to
I don't need a
save
filter.
my
In fact,
country.
I use a
This
filter to make
country
myself look
will
worse.
Be saved.
Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Tactical vest. Rogue
Okay,
tactical
welcome.
vest from the makers
It's
of Poop Bucket.
Wednesday, 29, right? 29
Oh
November.
man, I didn't even get
Year of
through
our
the
Lord,
comments.
2023.
Them's panicked and attacked
We're
new
going to
speaker
connect.
creds for GOP. Yeah, that's.
And I think
that's
we're
my,
going to connect what
my barometer.
this AI,
No one in
the
Congress is coming
reorganization of
to
the
save
government
you.
of what they're
No
actually
one in the
working on with the
GOP House
intelligence
is gonna
services,
fix
national security
anything.
state.
They're
This is
elected
the rogue
3
element of the
MAGA
administrative state,
House
the deep state.
members. Bill Gates is already poisoning
With
our
both
food.
elections, but
I don't know how he
also
got
this
into our
pandemic.
food.
President
But
Trump put out this great piece
I gotta
last
get back
night,
to
one of his videos,
You guys
of which
are
he talked
hilarious.
about what we talked about on the show
Oh my
yesterday
God.
about, and we had Dr.
Turkey
Malone
teeth.
and others on that you could
It's a
see on
pain.
Drudge. All of a sudden they're pushing, this, this flu coming out of China. And, Malone said this is just typical for children. It's nothing.
That's
The surge
true.
in Europe,
That's right.
they're
Without
talking about
data
masking,
scraping, we
all of
wouldn't
it,
know what our porn name
because
was.
they understand they have to steal the election of 2024. They have to steal the election. So why don't you not go back to tried and true mail-in ballots, all of that,
We
all
get
the
so
madness.
square. Yeah.
And now you know with AI what
Really?
they've got coming for you on surveillance. So Brad's going to join us in Navarre. First, I want to go because he's got to bounce. Mike Lindell, tell me,
Mike Lindell's
two
going
things
to
are
hell.
most
Hey,
important
Mike
out there.
Lindell, you're going
Us
to
fighting for
ooh,
President
rough.
Trump so they don't try to bankrupt him
Hey,
in
Mikey,
New
I
York
haven't seen you in a
City
minute.
with this bogus Moscow show trial, which gets more absurd every day.
Bogus
And also to
Moscow
make sure
show
that they keep the
trial?
lights on at My Pillow and they don't bankrupt you. How are we doing?
Well, you're already bankrupt.
We're doing great, Stephen, and I finally have a piece about it. I'm actually out in California. I've started my big tour of the country again to help secure our elections. I'm meeting with my team out here. The big things going
Where
on
are
in New
you?
Hampshire
I'd like
today,
to see you.
all across our country.
Can I visit?
But I have a piece because My Pillow.
Are you in LA?
The manufacturing floor is full. The shipping's full. All the employees are working like crazy. And I want to thank the War Room Posse. They made it all possible. We're running our sale. We're going to extend it to the
He is
the free
definitely back on
shipping
drugs. Can
for
we
another
all,
week
can
and
we
a
all
half,
like just
and for
not
free
take that
shipping
one?
on your whole order. They're making the My Pillow 2.0 and the mattresses and the mattress toppers, but the My Pillow 2.0 you're getting for 50%
You
off.
want
And
to
we
do a
added
My
free
Pillow
shipping to your
commercial? Yeah.
entire order. And then you
Oh, I
have
love Darcy and
we have our
Stacy.
Giza Dream Sheets, we have our sheets,
We can
have
talk about
mattress
Darcy and
toppers,
Stacy,
our beds
Margaret.
are 100% made in the
We
USA.
can talk about it.
You guys can do all your shopping there.
Who's paying
and
him
all
to
your
travel
Christmas shopping.
anywhere?
And I'm extending my 60-day
Diana,
money-back
thank
guarantee
you. Art Music,
out
you
to
gifted
March
another
1st of
membership. I love you.
2024.
Thank you
So
so
you can
much.
buy all
You
your
guys are
Christmas
so
presents and get it
generous
all
with
done
time
and help
money
not only
and
My
all
Pillow,
the
all my
energy,
employees, but
all
your
the
help and
positive
everything I'm
energy.
doing out there. That I can now head out on this 2-week tour here. Here's the free shipping on your entire order.
Here's a free
Use the
shipping.
promo
Just
code
say
War
meth
Room,
head.
everybody.
Carpet
You see,
farming.
you've got both kinds of
Carpet
sheets.
farming
They're as low
is
as
the code, people.
$24.98 a set.
It's a long one,
Towels,
so get a pencil.
$29.98. We have as
Carpet
low as
farming.
but there's the My
Carpet
Pillow 2.0.
farming
That's
is
what they're
it.
all making right now. I
Carpet
left there
farming is
yesterday,
what you
and
want. Okay,
they
carpet
are all
farming.
so
That's
happy. They
your.
love
I
making
know it's a long
products
code.
that help you all.
Don't
And
get mad
call
at
that
me.
number
But at the same time,
800-873-1062.
that's what I
My
think.
operators, I hear from all the time. They
Well,
love
I know.
hearing from
I
a War Room
wanted to.
Posse.
Yeah, I would
They're
like
all on
to
the
hear your
same page with
perspective
all
on
of
it.
you,
Let me
and
put it that way.
they're just so grateful for all of you
Nice.
buying our products
Calligraphy.
that
Oh, my love.
that
That's so
actually
cool.
help you. There's the mattress topper,
But
everybody.
I do
Get
love
those
their
mattress
gifts.
toppers for yourself for Christmas. Turn your bed into a
I
rejuvenation
know.
station.
I know.
Those
There's
are the
something
best
about
mattress
their
toppers, the best
relationship is
technology
so
ever put in
beautiful. I'm
to a
so
mattress
sorry.
topper, and for that matter, a bed too. We reverse engineer. All my products I reverse engineer. Problem, solution, and what will it manifest to help you all. So, Steve, I want to thank you all. I've got to get going. I'm going
I gotta
to meet with
get
my team
going.
out
I
here
gotta
in
go down
California,
on some
and
guy in the
great
alley,
things are
so
going
he's
on in our
gonna hook
country,
me up with
everybody,
some
and
good stuff. That's
we're
what
going
he
to have
said.
full reports
So
on the
I
next
gotta
couple
go.
weeks of our
Yeah, I
plan
got a
going
couple
into
weeks out here.
January and into the new year. But
Turn
for
your
right
bed
now, I
into a
can't thank the War Room
rejuvenation
Posse enough to
station
buy all your
with
Christmas
Mike
presents. Get that done.
Lindell.
It's easy.
Put
It's
some
convenient.
Lindell in your
Call
bed.
800-873-1062. Promo code War Room.
Promo code carpet
And free
farming.
shipping.
That's
Mike,
right.
thank you
I
for making
said
all the
it.
specials
Carpet
exclusive
farming.
to the
That's
War
the
Room. Our
that's the
posse,
code.
the folks really
Yeah,
appreciate
free
it.
shipping on your
Wait,
entire
which one
order,
is that?
everybody. Everything you
Uploads
buy now, free
free.
shipping.
Where is that?
Thanks, Steve.
Amazing.
Here's a
Mike,
little
Thank you. We'll keep the factory
There's a
floor
little
100%
tidbit
capacity.
from
My
Max
Pillow
this
2.0.
morning.
MyPillow.com promo code War Room. 800-873-1062 and have a chat with the folks when you give them a call.
Yeah,
Peter Navarro. Navarro, I
chat
got you on here and I got Brad on here. I got to talk capital markets. I got to talk the failure of
Peter
Bidenomics.
Navarro.
And I just want to tee up Malone and Natalie for this
wow,
afternoon. Since we've got a biolab Ford deployed in California, just give me a minute, because you came out in April of 2020. Give me there's all this back and forth. We got, was it Kadick saying something on Sherry's show in Australia? We pulled that clip. I think we're trying to get Malone up today. He made the assertion yesterday. Just give us a snapshot. Because this is about the 400 giving him a standing ovation, give a shit a standing ovation. They hit us with the bioweapon. It did trillions of dollars of damage to our economy, and we're giving this guy a standing ovation, and they Ford deployed another mini lab in California. Navarro, what do we know about this?
This is Peter Navarro's fucking theme.
Robert Cadlick, Dr. Robert Cadlick, was arguably the third most important person during the pandemic. And I met him early in February of 2020, right? That's just a month or two after Steve Bannon said there was a pandemic going on.
Oh, Paradise by the
Bay. And
hold on.
I worked with him to
we're gonna make
do a
some
lot of
lyrics
stuff
right now in the moment.
agencies to get things going, the masks, the things, the treatments, and all of that, right? And he seemed like an honest bureaucrat. And I am stunned to find out
right
that as he was looking me in the eye, he was working behind the scenes with Dr. Anthony Fauci to hide the truth about the origins of the Wuhan lab in order to protect these gain of function
that's like a little harder
which
melody.
led to the pandemic anyway. And Sherry Markson in Australia kind of did an interview with him, and he confessed, as it were. But what this means to me, Steve, is that Fauci needs to be locked up. Cadlick might share a cell with him, by the way, because this was a conspiracy at the highest level. And the reason why
hold it, hang on. Whoa, hang on, stop, full stop. And I love how you get the old War Room logo. Grace and Mo, that's a merch item right there. That logo is the best. That was created by our own Raheem Kassan at the time.
This was the logo.
Go back and be specific.
Did I call it? There was a pandemic.
Exactly.
Yes.
In the middle of January 2020, months before everybody else. But
both of
go back. What did Cadlick specifically? We're gonna have the clips tonight. But why are you so worked up? What did he specifically say that has you so worked up?
He worked with Fauci behind the scenes to pressure everybody in the bureaucracy, including the CIA, to keep secret that the virus, the Wuhan lab, communist Chinese virus, came from Wuhan. What they did was Cadlick actively participated in a cover-up to make all of us believe that it came from nature. Now, here's why this is important, Steve. This is why Fauci should be in jail for murder. What we needed to know, what President Trump needed to know at the time, was if this thing came from the lab, he would have pressured Communist China to release the genetic design of the virus, which would have helped us immensely. I can't underestimate this. Would have helped us immensely design a much more effective set of treatments and vaccines. We were basically shooting in the dark with this mRNA thing, and it just became a series of lies after we started going down the road to the mRNA vaccines. It's like Pfizer, Fauci, and maybe Cadlick hid the fact that stuff.
Okay, hold it. But hang on. Whoa, slow down. I've got that. But why did you need Cadlick? And why couldn't the task force and you guys and ever getting the thing and find out? We were saying this on the War Room, and we had Hatfield only for 2 weeks before you guys took him. Why? So how could Fauci? Hang on. Why is Fauci and Cadlick at the time so untouchable? Just basic human reasoning with the military. Wuhan's always been the military health care and medical facility of the People's Liberation Army since the 1930s. Why? So let's say Cadlick did lie. Let's say Fauci did lie. So what? People lie.
So
People
I gotta know right
there's
now.
agents of influence in there.
Don't
Overstate
bury
and
the lead here.
underestimate.
The fact
Not
that
overstate, not
they didn't
underestimate.
come clean about where that virus
China.
came meant there wasn't enough
Green Bay
political
Creek.
will inside the White House to pressure the
Right.
communist Chinese
Says high
to come
school.
clean
Gave a
on the
global
genetic
high.
design of the
You
virus.
get it?
If we had known
Stop.
what it was,
Stop.
Okay,
Okay.
Smeagol.
Hang on.
Look, he looks like Smeagol actually
Hang on.
falling
I
in the
got that.
fire
I
pit.
got that part.
Prove me
For
wrong.
purposes of discussion, I give you
Smeagol
that.
in
I
the fire
understand
pit.
that.
wolf on this,
No,
Steve.
but I'm saying what?
Hang on, I'm
But
going
what
on.
you're telling me? Hang on. Hang on.
Saying that this is from the Wuhan lab, and I'm getting stonewalled by everybody.
I get it.
By everybody, and I told the boss twice to fire Fauci.
Oh boy.
He didn't do it because
Danny's like,
everybody
I
else
can't deal with this
said,
guy anymore.
bad idea.
Oh, Diana,
And so
thank
this
you.
is why I'm so worked up,
Music
Steve,
gives
because I
another
saw
membership.
this just like you saw
Chill
it.
Pill.
Miles Woe saw it,
Chill
3
Pill
Miles
got a
Woe, by the way.
membership.
And now we learn more and more.
Welcome,
and I
Chill
get back to
Pill.
the fact that
The
Fauci
loungers.
should be the one in prison. He should be stripped of every dollar he earned off this pandemic. And he should go down in history as the biggest mass murderer this side of Mao Zedong. This is incendiary, Steve. And I expect a legacy media to just ignore it. Fox won't even talk about it.
It is.
Well, we will get into the details of this, but one more time.
Low prices.
Judas Pence chaired the task force.
Clueless.
Was Pence and everybody? I just want
true.
Clueless.
Clueless.
And nobody on national. Not one person.
We had no idea at that time.
Who's that? Oh my
that
God.
Fauci had
That
engineered
is
this
Peter
gain of
Navarro,
function stuff.
former trade
If he had simply come clean,
who actually
he knew about it,
composed
which
the
was
Green
in
Bay Sweep, which was
December,
all the
December
state collectors.
of 2019.
Hang on.
Millions of people could have been saved.
Slow down for a
Millions
second.
of people.
Slow down.
Slow
down.
I got all that. I got that part.
The
Okay,
communist
Peter.
Chinese instead of Donald Trump for the pandemic, and he'd be sitting in the White House.
Oh,
So
you,
the virus
Max,
made
you
it close
hit
enough to
join.
steal, Steve. And Fauci
Hit
did that.
join, and then it'll say.
Okay, I got all that part.
Allow
Let me once again stipulate. I got that.
And then
let me write that
you'll
down.
receive
Okay, I got that.
Gifted membership.
That's not the question I'm asking. You had
And
Pottinger.
then
I see.
what
Here's what I
would
don't understand.
suggest is after the
I
show
don't
is over or
understand.
whatever.
First off,
before you go to another stream,
as a fact,
turn that setting
Obama's
off
national
by hitting
security
join again. You can turn it off and on
council
from that button on
with
any
Obama
channel
outlawed
that has it.
the gain of function research because they saw what was
And
going on. They
because
said, "Hey, this thing is
otherwise, if you're
dangerous."
lurking in
Remember?
a bad
Point
channel, like
one.
I got gifted
Fauci
Best
then
membership
went
ones,
to the
I got gifted
didn't
a
take
Red
it to the chain of
Squirrel
command.
membership
But
ones.
when was
it
it
was bad. I mean, but
Okay.
fun because
Who
number
didn't have
one,
a chair.
you can go to their members only streams, which I never
who
did.
didn't have a
but
chair
whatever.
time, and Price was
And number
going
two,
at
it's a wasted
HHS.
membership for them because
He got
they're
it
not gonna renew
reinstated.
So
during
it's
the
a
first year in December of 2017, if I remember correctly,
thinking
if
that they
memory
got
serves me
you by
correctly.
giving you a membership.
Knowing those two facts,
it only means that
you're
was a
telling me
membership that could have
Pottinger
been
and no
given to
one in the
someone who
National
might have
Security
renewed. So
Council
from a revenue
raised an
standpoint,
eyebrow like we did on
they're
the
really
show
not.
day after day after
So I
day.
say, let them go ahead and
there was
spend as
quite
much money on
it
gifted
was quite
in the
okay.
bad
Let's hang on.
channels
We're
as
going
they
to come
want.
back on this. I love.
So you have to, you have to turn
Navarre
it
reminds
off
me of my
right
brothers. That's
after
how
you
we used to
accept.
fight around the dining room table. My parents say, "Knock it off, knock it off,"
So that you don't
knock
get
it off.
you don't get like a
Dr. Peter
stupid
Navarro.
membership,
We're going to
which
take a short
again,
commercial
can be
break. We're
fun.
going to come back. This is actually quite massive. Malone was going to come on
don't
today.
even
He's going to come back on
know. I
tonight. I
don't
think we're
even
going to get
know.
Natalie. Natalie's on top of this. This revelation by the great Sherry Markson.
Yeah, no, you
at
turn
Sky
it
News
off
in
so that you
Australia.
don't get it from
Quite a
channels you don't
bombshell.
want it
A
from,
bombshell in many different aspects, not just about the cover up, about the action that was taken
Turn
and
it
the
off so that you
CCP's
don't
involvement.
accidentally
Short commercial break. Back in a
get,
moment.
another break. Okay. Well, we're not going to do the whole. Well, we're going to find the whole video. All right, let's read some of their chat. Hold on. Scooby-Doo, we're not fascists. Don't think that we're fascists, even though we overthrow democracy and the installation of authoritarian. Ooh, ooh. if Mike's Little Johnson pushes through another CR, then he deserves bashing. What he is trying to do currently, I can't even. You thought it something good would happen in Congress? I don't know. No one thought. Well, this looks very scary. It looks like a. I don't think you can read the report. You can't report comments. Oops. You cannot report comments. Guess what? Oh well. Johnson only had a couple of to put together a budget. Not possible. Totally true. Michael Johnson is the best thing that happened to America since Trump. Where's Matt Getz? I don't know who Matt Getz is, but what is he? Oh my God, these people. We are scared. Why? Stop. Don't. Stop. Don't. Oh, pussy bitch. Human event. With a non-human, Jack Pussy bitch. Alright. Wait, Mike Johnson is Mega, not Maga. Make Ireland great again? I don't understand. Okay, sorry. I know. This is how I spend my day. Now you just saw how I get this. Yeah, it's Diana. It's only the bad channels that we get scared.
Here's your host,
That's all.
Stephen K. Bannon.
No, you are lovely. And,
okay, we're going to have Malone on at 5. Natalie's going to be at 5. We're going to play the clips.
For your love and support.
And we're going to drill down this. This is quite huge, particularly the sense that the 400 gave
so much.
Remember, she needs a bailout. He needs a bailout.
Right?
He needs access to American capital. He needs access to American technology.
Generation.
Just like President Trump cut him off from. And that's why the 400, the business community, led by Navarre, two of your favorite people, sitting, on each side of she was Steve Schwartzman and Larry Fink.
Yeah.
Two of your favorites, Dr. Navarre. Okay. Go ahead.
Fauci, Fink, Schwartzman, these unregistered lobbyists. I mean, it's just, it's no wonder that Trump's doing so well in the polls because people viscerally understand how we create these globalist people who control a lot of our institutions are just out to get them. I mean, we're just like cannon fodder for these people. I would be remiss here in not mentioning my article today in the Washington Times.
Really, honored to have you.
To me, it's a really important thing. It's like this election is going to come down to the ability of Joe Biden to make MAGA equal to the word extremism. I mean, that's their whole messaging. If they can do that, we're screwed. And what I do in Washington Times is I break down what MAGA really means and what it doesn't mean. And it's the Iron Triangle. It goes back to what was on your board in the White House when you and I first got there. It's the fair trade versus free trade. It's the
common sense policy, not extremism.
Take
it from us.
That's ultimately
take it from me, Peter Navarro, who needs
everything we
cover.
Stand for in
Here's
MAGA.
the thing.
And what they're
I
trying
think
to do.
Navarro is a true believer.
Is
I think he thinks that his blind loyalty to Trump is actually going to end up getting him somewhere. I really believe that.
So what I work
it's
through
very insane.
Are those issues and how we in MAGA have to be essentially proselytizers for what MAGA really means and reject this idea that we're anything but mainstream. Because what we believe in, Steve, what you talk about every single day is as mainstream as it gets. I mean, it's the fiscal responsibility. It's why should we allow the world to cheat us in trade? It's like, why do we send trillions of dollars over to Afghanistan and Iraq and bring our sons and
but
daughters
hang
home
on,
with
but hang on,
concubines?
but hang
It's
on,
just
hang on. I got all that.
Stupid.
It's common sense and it's common sense policy.
Hang on, stupid.
But I think there's a phrase in a world of lies and tyranny, the person that speaks the truth is a revolutionary. Our policies right now are not mainstream. Our policies right now are common sense and what you must do to return America to her greatness. But dude, when you've allowed 9 to 10 million illegal alien invaders into the country and you're paying for it at $500 billion a year, and there's not an uproar, the House of Representatives have not moved to McAllen, Texas, and just legislate from there until we stop this, then you're not mainstream. The mainstream in the country has gone to sleep. The mainstream in the country has been coward because they understand they're calling the MAGA people extremists. Well, hey, call us what you want. We're not going to be defeated.
Okay.
Right? And we're going to implement these policies and then some.
What is your policy?
And you can see what they're trying to do. So I understand. I think it's common sense. These are common sense, traditional American policies, but we live in a time of totalitarian. You've had a constitution been ripped to shreds, and you've had a fourth branch of government called the administrative state that now is impervious to elections. They were impervious to Trump's 2016 election. You just laid out how the biopharmaceutical part of that essentially as rogues continue to do gain of function experiment, which is just weaponization of viruses to create bioweapons.
I'm actually really
and
happy
then lied about it and didn't care how many people in the United States died and the economic catastrophe that we've had since then. But let me go to a point about Biden. The magazine, the newspaper Messenger says the Bidenomics, as you said from day one, is unsellable. It's unsellable because it has catastrophic consequences. And it depends upon a radical theory that came from the French, which is modern monetary theory, which they bragged about. Deficits don't matter. Deficits don't matter. Deficits don't matter. So we know that's false. And now Biden's team is saying you can't sell that. Don't use that phrase. We have to be populist. Of course, the populism's not fair trade. The populism's not tariffs to protect or bring our manufacturing jobs back. It's not sealing the border. It's looking at charges that they're charging too much on airlines, that they're price gouging, etc. And they're using your Defense Production Act right now. They're saying, the supply chains are all the fault of it. We're going to use Defense Production Act. And this is all that, which is, it's so much more complicated than that and really exacerbated by their terrible economic policies, sir.
Yeah, if I may pull away the curtain on this, Bidenomics basically is a big bet that's gone very bad, not just economically, but politically. The big bet that Biden and Yellen and everybody in the White House has made is that they can engage in a massive overstimulus and hope that things look rosy on election day, and who cares what happens the day after. That's the bet they made, but instead of getting prosperity, they're getting inflation and stagflation. And the polls are showing that even Democrats don't like the word Bidenomics. They're walking away from it. And it's basically the mirror image of what Trump would be doing. I mean, everything that Trump did, Biden has undone. He's fiscally irresponsible with the massive overstimulus. It's just insane to give away our strategic energy dominance the way he has and make us now subservient to the crown prince of Saudi Arabia and Putin's Russia. That's kind of crazy. And then opening up our border to these, the biggest invasion. You and I, Steve, we underestimated this. I said 2 million a year, like 2 years ago, right? And you go, what? And it's like, we're underestimating it. This is like the worst invasion we've ever had, but it brings in lower wages for our black, brown, and blue collar Americans. It brings in communist Chinese and the soldiers and Islamic terrorists. It brings in drug cartels, human traffickers. They're flooding our cities. And look, Washington, D.C. is a wreck right now. New York City's a wreck right now. And it's just, I mean, everything is going wrong for Joe Biden. And Trump's the highest he's ever been in the polls, but it's a long way to go. And I'm telling you, Steve, as we stand here, it's going to come down to 6 states and whether or not they can do what Obama did to Romney and what happened in the 22 cycle is like make this a social issue election. And God help us.
Okay.
God help us if it happens. God help us. Thank God for the war.
Let me go back to this financial crisis for a second. September 18th, we passed 33 trillion. On December 28th, we're going to pass 34 trillion. Brother, you went to Harvard. You can do some math. You got that PhD that did you so well from there. Just do some math for me. How do we add $1 trillion? And we're not in a pandemic. There's no like emergency. We've cut out the Ukraine funding from the budget. At least how do you add $1 trillion in 100 days? And who's going to stop it? It can't be stopped now because you got to refinance a third of the 33 trillion short term at higher interest rates. How do you stop this train?
Yeah, it's crack cocaine coursing through the financial. Look, and I'm so disappointed with Speaker Johnson and our Republican House. I don't know what these people are thinking in there, but they just have not delivered on the fiscal cliff. They have not delivered on communist China. They have not delivered on the border. It's like, what is going on in their heads? Is there nobody on Capitol Hill who understands the gravity of this situation? And you were talking offline during the commercial about how they're going to push the CR out again. It's like, it's like Donald Trump's going to be president 2025, but boy, are we going to have a mess of problems we're going to have to solve because they're not doing it now.
Well, the solutions have to come now. Peter, where do they go to the Washington Times to get your piece, and how do they get all your other pieces up on your Substack?
Yeah, peternavarro.substack.com, peternavarro.substack.com. What I do on the Substack is I get the article out a little early, and then it goes up in the Washington Times on Tuesdays. It's just really important stuff that's been coming out, but peternavarro.substack.com. War Room, if you can support that, that'll help me get the message out, help us in this country. peternavarro.substack.com.
By the way, what have you been on vacation for like 2 months? You look totally relaxed. You're still crazy, but you still look totally relaxed. What have you been doing? You've been just working out?
I was relaxed. I thought I did a pretty good impression of me being really pissed. Okay, so if that was relaxed, I'll try to amp it up a little bit, brother. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, my man. Thank you for
we got to get in fighting shape for 2024. It's going to be a tough race, Steve.
Got to do it. I know that, brother. Thank you.
All right, man.
Saving this republic. What a fighter. We're going to deconstruct this thing about the Wuhan lab and the gain of function at 5:00. Natalie's going to join us. Malone's going to join us. I'm going to get to Bob. Also, EJ and Tony's going to join us. He's going to walk through the $1 trillion in 100 days. Brad's going to join me on the other side. Go to birchgold.com/war room right now. Get Philip Patrick, /Bannon. We personalize this one, /Bannon. Make sure you get Philip Patrick and the team on the phone. Go to the website, get the number, get them on the phone, walk them through, ask them, and get yourself a big hot mug of Warpath coffee, right, at warpath.com. But ask Philip Patrick and the team, hey, explain this one to me. How are we adding $1 trillion in 100 days? And how's the Fed going to pay for that? Or we're going to print money to pay for that since they won't buy the bonds? And why are the BRICS, and particularly the Chinese, why are they buying gold at record rates? Tell me, explain to that. Then sit down with that hot mug of coffee and just think about it. Just think about it. Short break. Brat on the other side.
What I missed? Was it human events with Jack Pussy Bitch? Okay, let's see what else. Wait, I want to see what's going on here. Here we go. Kevin Sorbo is disappointed, yes, and should be. They have not delivered on this list. I can only imagine. What was it? Stinchfield tonight. Pete's so scared. Oh my God, the shackles really tripping. I mean, if anybody is someone who should be in shackles, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's that motherfucker. You know. Make this sign. What sign? Bam, bam, bam. God, I'm telling you, these guys, they're so scared. You guys, come on, now. They're so scared. They're so scared. Max, don't worry about it. You are totally a number in my mind. So, you're so kind. I don't know if you can actually like direct the membership to someone. I'll sneak her in through the back door. There's been a lot of great generosity, so I'm always grateful. Although we still have to figure out, boy, the movie thing just doesn't really. Who's our friend? But you know what? I like that we try different things. All right, let's see if anything else is happening in other parts of the world.
War Room. Here's your host,
Steve
Bannon.
Okay. In the sponsors, our category sponsors, one is the
It's
alternative
another
economy,
ad. Oh my
the
God.
venture
It's
economy.
more
The other
ads.
is preparedness,
It's
self-reliance, and the other is health
more ads.
and health, and make sure that you take
I
care of your
know
health.
you did. I know.
The
Oh,
reason
thanks,
that
Diana.
when we
I mean,
talk to
Diana, you're
sponsors
so
come to
kind.
us, we want to make sure that it's in the
Scott,
flow of actually
you're
what's
so
happening in this country.
nice. Thank
The Jace Medical
you.
guys. Now I want to go back to this thing of price gouging and
Geo's girl
Biden's
was
new EO and new direction,
did a
knowing that
membership.
Bidenomics
Good
can't
morning,
be, he
Geo's
can't sell
girl.
Bidenomics because he can't sell the frickin'
Loungers.
bonds to Wall Street.
To
It's not
the
sellable.
loungers.
Their plan is catastrophic
I
failure.
wish I could say it was
So now
like,
he's going to
you know, an
shift on
amazing,
optics. One of the things you're starting to hear, price
mystical
gouging by
experience.
the greedy corporations, who are all their
I
partners.
know,
The
right?
public-private
I love
partnerships are all
everybody
their partners. It's all optics. But they're talking about supply chains.
Hopefully it's the best $1.99.
And this ties back to the CCP, the 400, the lab. This is Jace Medical. Jace Medical, these guys at Jace Medical, the reason we love them, they took Rosemary Gibson's book in the early days when we had the pandemic show back in 2020, and she came on, she had this book that Big Pharma crushed for years and wouldn't let out there.
Oh,
That
no
all the
problem,
generics
Margaret. You
and
go
the
for
active
it. I'm
pharmaceutical
actually thinking
ingredients,
of finding
API to 100%, generics to about 80%, but even the generics are made in India are controlled by the active pharmaceutical ingredients. And the team at Jace Medical, Dr. Sean and this team, Rowland, took it and made a business out of it. That's why and now they're talking about, oh, we got these supply chain problems in the CCP. We know that. And this is why human agency, go to Jace Medical. I'm not telling you to get the service. I'm telling you to go
They're
there
literally,
and find out what
everything
they've done.
he does
make
is
the
an
decision.
ad.
These guys have been ahead of it. And I love people taking action on what is really an issue.
Yeah, okay. You know what? I mean, not that anything is better, but Dan Bongino. I'm Dan Bongino. Let's make fun of Dan Bongino for a minute. Hi. Go to brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Oops. Oh, I thought he was just stuck.
I got you 15% off your
I'll get
first
you
order.
15% off there.
Here's the
for
website,
stuff like
brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Use promo
you
code
could be as ripped as
promo
my
code Dan
my
at
forehead.
brickhousenutrition.com/Dan.
Come to
brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. It's an amazing product.
Dan.
I like the
Don't
wild
sniff
berry,
Brickhouse.
lemon lime.
Don't
try it out.
Sniff
Our last sponsor
Brickhouse.
today, Genucel. It's a Christmas and holiday season, time for gift giving, parties,
Oh,
and getting
here we
compliments
go.
everywhere you go. And
Hang.
years
Okay,
younger.
whatever.
Thanks to
That's
Jen Ucell
terrible.
Skincare.
You can't report people. I don't
Now
know
until
why.
Christmas, Jen Ucell Skincare's most
I'm
popular
not going to
package is
say
better than
is it better
70%
than
off at
70%
JenUcell.com.
off Genucell.
Treat yourself and a loved
popular
one to the
package.
absolute best
At
skincare in the world. See
Genucell.com
those troubling
/Dan.
forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, pesky
Yeah,
bags, and
because you
puffiness.
could have a
Yes, even
forehead as
sagging
ripped as
jawlines disappear right
mine.
before your eyes with
Just
JenUcell
take
Skincare's most popular
Genucell.
collection.
Put it on your
With
skin.
its
I don't know
immediate
what
effects,
it is.
see results in less than 12 hours, guaranteed or your money back. It's a great
I need a
holiday gift, ladies and
shave.
gentlemen.
Oh,
My
but it's
mother-in-law
no
loves it.
shave
So does Paula.
November.
Trust this. Plus,
Boys
included
so
in every most popular package is your free
The boys
hyaluronic
are so
acid serum for
clever.
skin hydration that'll restore your youthful
I
appearance.
wonder why
Visit
bandages.
JenUcell.com
Yeah,
slash
right?
Dan now. Enter my special
I-
code Dan for an additional 10%
I
off your
mean,
entire order.
I don't think.
Every order today is instantly upgraded to free
I don't
express
think
shipping.
he.
GENUCEL.com slash
Bongino.
Dan. That's JenUcell.com.
He's just selling stuff too. So this is actually all they've got, by the
I
way.
read this freaking story and I'm like, no way.
Oh,
Like
YouTube
even for
decides
them,
for
this
you.
is so
That's
crazy
terrible.
that they had to
Good
know the public would find
morning.
out. What happened? Victor Nava, New York Post.
Oh, yes.
Heavily redacted
Welcome
documents
back.
related to
And
search
Scott,
warrant for
what a
Trump's Twitter account
lovely
have
note
been
you
released.
left for
Notice the date on
art
this
music
story.
on the
It's just the
comments.
other day.
That was really
They note
sweet.
that the government didn't only want Trump's Twitter account. They also sought information on users who interacted with
Dan
Trump.
Bongino. I quote the New York
This
Post.
guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, that guy, and the
Ooh, what's going on under the arm there, sweetheart? Are you
954
okay?
people in the
Those
chat
look like
right
my
now.
arms.
This
and I'm
is
a
what
lot
the-
older than you.
No,
What's
yes,
going
no,
on?
yeah, read it. All information. This is
Okay.
from the
All
warrant.
right,
What they want.
Dan, stop it. You're giving me an aneurysm. How about that? How about that? Let's see. What else? Harmony and chorus. The Watchmen. Oh, it's so scary. Everything's so scary. We the People. Wendy Bell. Oh, no. InfoWars. No. Real America's Voice. Or is it just human? Anything but. Okay. Benny Johnson. Idiot. All these are idiots. No, it's oh my God. Okay. That's nothing. All right. Newsmax. Oh, lovely. Okay. Russian television. This is Russian state TV running their 24/7 live stream. Shall we check in with the Vatniks and see what they're, or not Vatniks, they're not the Vatniks.
Сейчас куда работать будем? По плановым целям. Ориентировочно мы понимаем, что там находится. Естественно, живая сила противника. Группа ДРГ. Они заселяются в частные дома.
Oh, those are dots.
Мирняк есть.
Okay, well that's, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing some war propaganda. The Rubin report. Yeah, no, it's just not good. Okay, it's just not good. All right, so that's, hold on. We're gonna find something else. I know, a wall. It is a wall of idiots, isn't it? It's so true. Did it say Russell's head explodes? How are they this stupid? Yeah, Russell Brand's head explodes at Biden officers. What? Idiotic public gaffe. Oh my God. RadPod is amazing. Oh, of course. No, I recommend RadPod. It's on my recommended channels. On my YouTube channel, you can see a list of recommended channels by category, and RadPod is right there, baby. I love me some RadPod. And we had a great space last night. Jim Stewartson is doing some primers on spaces around Q, around Pizzagate, et cetera, and we had a good one yesterday around Pizzagate. I found it very interesting. So that was very good. Wait, there's another thing I wanted to show. Hold on to your love. You got to hold on. Are they gonna? No. Okay, they're still in recess. Okay. Ooh. Oh. What's this? This is Supreme Court on whether SEC, other federal agencies can create regulations. Oh, it started an hour and a half ago. I'm just going to put it on in case they're saying something interesting. It's hard with these because they're audio only.
The statute is giving the enforcement authority to the
Oh, and they're
government
very
for the
loud.
benefit of the public are not hard, and why people haven't continued to
But
bring
this is the Supreme Court.
is because it doesn't look anything like
I can actually.
the common law
Hold on.
scenario where we
Oh,
had two
thanks,
private
Scott.
parties
That's so
fighting
kind.
over fraud, and
That's
they brought
so
it to
kind.
court. Instead, Congress has
Yes, I
created a
can
new
actually.
thing to supplement that private scenario, or maybe it's brand new in any event, but it's not a common law rooted kind.
Okay, I'm sorry, Justice. We have to hear a silly. I did actually record it off the space because I wanted to hear it back because I want to try and record it again. So this was really just more for my own.
Okay, sing a song. I have a first draft of a new, I call it a Christmas song. It's not Christmas, it's Christmas with a P. All right, here we go. Just use your imagination. This is the rough draft, all right? So it's not done, okay? Here we go. Check your voter registration, darling, 'cause they'll knock you off. Next year, all our rights are on the chopping block. Think I'm high? Well, last I checked, Rose gone, so make a plan today. Next year, we must vote or Fash will have their way. Once again, GOP is lame. Lindsay has no shame, it's true. Maggot brains are on auto drive, screaming Hunter's mine, Lev who? Someday soon, we all will have to stand up and ensure love wins. Until then, we'll have to keep aware somehow. So check your registration at vote.org now. There you go.
That's it. Well, that's the first time I sang that through, so I did hesitate a little bit because I happened to misspell a couple words. But anyway, that's behind the scenes. That's behind the music. You get a behind the music. Once again, GOP is lame. Lindsay has no shame. It's true. Yeah, so I think I can do a better, cleaner version of it. And I think Oomph might be helping me, which I much appreciate. And I also hear that a certain Gal Squad member is laying down a track to accompany it. I just heard that this morning. So Oomph, we might have a collaboration. Oh, thank you for getting that. I did have a note from my daughter. She's like, Rose gone? I didn't understand what that meant. And she says, is there any way you can say Ro is gone? Thank you, Oomph. That's very kind of you. Really happy to have everyone involved. Yeah, I think J Rounds said she figured out the guitar part. I can't believe it. I'm really excited anyway. I don't want to get too excited. No pressure on anyone. But yeah, I'm writing more lyrics to Christmas songs and Christmas songs. And if you check out, I know some of you are not on. Yeah, let's discuss it. Absolutely. That would be great. That would be great. You know, I think we're all on Signal, Oomph, if I'm not mistaken. It might be a way to do a group conversation, just saying, if it's convenient, but no worries. I know and also I know both of you are very, very busy, so I'm mindful of that as well. But nonetheless, we are going to douse you with music in one way, shape, or form this holiday season, this Christmas season. Just happy Christmas and have a great Christmas. Oh, why? Oh, you have it in live chat? Oh, are you in Dino? Siegfried, are you in Dino? Because Lolo's Lounge is open again. So go to Lolo's Lounge if you can. Jingle cells. Oh, Diana. Okay, here we go. Oops, Max Flower's here. Jingle cells, jingle cells. Lock 'em up, I say. Oh my God, there's so many lines. It's like a bunch of stuff. Jingle cells, lock 'em up, I say. Wait, no. Jingle cells, lock 'em up, I say. She has 25 tabs open. Max is so cute. Max, I'm going to be honest with you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11. Now, 1 is a recipe. 1 is a game. 2 are the indictments for Trump. And then 2 YouTube, 2 Rumble, and a partridge in a pear tree. See here, Lolo. Oh, teehees, Lolo. Yeah. Jingle cells, lock 'em up, I say. When, oh. Okay, I've got it. Jingle cells, lock 'em up, I say. Jack, oh Jack, blum, 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 blum. Please lock Trump, please lock him. Wait. Please convict Trump right away. Jingle cells, lock 'em up, I say. Hey there, Jack. Funny and wait. Oh man. Oh, thank you, Scott. You're so fine. I know. He's Scott. I'm so sorry. We've been trying, and Max has tried and is unable to activate gifts, and is a big gift is membership. She's not a joiner. So you're very kind. Oh my goodness, you guys are just too generous. Oh, that orange ass away. Yeah. Oh. Jingle cells. I should have you be watching something more interesting than just listening to me try and workshop a song. Hold on. Let me see if anything good's happening. The Honorable Mitt Romney. These guys, I feel like this is going to be so boring.
We'll just suspend, folks.
Hi.
Ah.
He knows you. He shows up regularly.
Yeah. Well, let's just say goodbye to our friend who wants to do nothing and leave Social Security beneficiaries with a 20% cut as a result of our inaction.
May I just interject, Mr.
Please.
Chairman? Senator Romney, it must be refreshing to know that that you still animate some folks on the left as well. So
Exactly right.
it must be reassuring for you.
Exactly right. Well, I'm actually here to announce our candidacy for.
Senator Romney, thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, ranking member. Appreciate the chance to be with you and the members of this committee. Let me underscore what Senator Manchin has said about the urgency of us addressing our shortfall, our fiscal crisis.
Sorry, I should have told you.
I'm going to start with 3 reasons that this is something we need to do and do now. One relates to interest. And I'm going to get there by showing you, as a percentage of the economy, what's happened to defense spending, which is the solid line, and domestic discretionary spending, which is the yellow line, and where the CBO projects them to go over time. As you'll note, our spending on discretionary items has come down, both for the military as a percentage of the GDP, both for the military and for the discretionary domestic spending.
Gifting is,
but because of baby boomers, What's going to happen on Medicare and Social
Now you have
Security
to
is a very
put,
different pattern.
you do, you
Social
have to
Security is
opt in.
the orange line there,
join
and
button,
and
there's like a
Medicare is
little
the blue line.
toggle
You'll see that Medicare over
It's a
the
little
next,
tricky to
this, by the way, this first dotted line is current, 2023. The dotted line over here is 2030, which would be 6 years from now, the end of the next group of senators' term. So as you'll see, the pretty dramatic increase, and you'll also note that we haven't yet layered on interest. If we now turn to adding the interest line, here is the interest line. The red line is interest, and you'll note that as of 2030,
Scott, you're very kind.
as of
Really,
2030,
you're very kind.
only 6 years from now, interest expense for the federal government will exceed either defense spending or domestic discretionary spending.
I did.
That's where we're headed. So we're going to have to do
Finger on the
massively
stove.
awful things, either in defense or domestic
Finger in
spending.
the
This is a
Pentagon.
huge increase. That's one reason we need to move soon. So unless we fix the fiscal calamity, we're no longer going to be able to have a military leadership in the world, and we would have major consequences for our safety and our national security. There's a second reason. Our mounting debt is placing us in the same hazardous category as Greece and Italy. This shows
it wasn't
government debt, gross debt, and by the way, debt held by the public.
Can't do shaggy justice.
As a
And I really
percentage of
do love-
GDP
I really like
out through 2028.
It
Ours is the
does.
red line. Here's Greece, Italy, Portugal, Ireland, Spain. Notice they're all getting better. We're the one getting worse.
Oh my God, look at the.
And we are now in a category as of 2028 where we're going to have
They used
more
to call
debt
them
as a percentage of our
PIDS or
GDP than
something, what was
Italy.
it?
And remember what Greece
Something,
and Italy and the others
Portugal,
went through. This is the
Ireland,
trajectory
Greece.
we're on unless we take
Spain.
action
What happened?
soon.
Went through some kind of economic blah blah blah.
Simpson Bowles told us about
Not
this
blah, blah,
crisis,
blah, but you know what I'm saying.
but it's already here.
Simpson Bowles,
And
whoa.
our
they were
legislation
throwback.
has a built-in path to avoid some of
There's
the
a throwback.
challenges that were associated with the Simpson Bowles
Just
failure
put
to
it
actually
out.
reach a conclusion. Let me just mention what they are. First of all, four corners appoint the members of this commission. Three will be
It's terrible.
from members, elected members, and then one will be an expert, but the expert will not be voting. Only members will be voting on the commission's recommendations. The objective of the commission is to stabilize debt as
intentionally
a share of the
delete
GDP. It doesn't talk about any particular
Intent matters.
program. It just says, let's get our debt as a
What if
percentage
not
of GDP at a stable level.
What
And
if?
finally, all spending is being considered and everything's on the table.
What
We
if?
don't say this
I have
program
a-
has to
I have
be
a-
added,
I
that
have a-
program. No,
I
it's
have a dream.
everything is on the table. And finally,
Yeah,
if there's
right.
a bipartisan consensus,
Um,
if we have Republicans
what
and
if-
Democrats on
what
this
if all
commission
votes were
that vote
raised?
together on a
Oh, now
bipartisan
don't
basis to
call me a
proceed,
communist.
then there is a
but-
privileged process to take the legislation to the
Because
floor
I don't know
and to
if
vote on it
either
in
of-
the House
I
and
don't
the
think
Senate. In the
it
Senate, by
needs
the
to-
way, the 20-vote rule would apply.
But
So it's the same
what if
numbers required in order for
we
it to become
tried
law. And of course, the
investing
president would then
in
be
the programs
given the
that
opportunity to
typically
sign it.
Democrats
If we
speak
don't
of?
fix this mess that
Granted,
our country
they
is
don't
in,
do enough
why,
about
it's
those
hard for me
programs.
to
I'm not
imagine a
letting anybody off the hook.
where
But
America is able
what
to
if
continue to lead the world.
we invested in the
If we're
way
spending
that
more on
Democrats
interest
speak on investing
than
in
we're spending on defense,
in people,
then how in the world are we going
in
to keep up with China,
infrastructure,
which is already spending
in
a
a
lot
job
more on
corps,
procurement than we are today?
in
So this is a
lifting
decision
kind
we
of
have. We're either going to be
everyone,
known as a
in doubling
generation
down
that
on the
took on
investment
tough
in
challenges and
public
solved them,
education.
or one
What
that
if all
didn't.
those things started to happen?
We all lived in the
What
shadow
if we
of the greatest
tried them?
generation. If we don't fix this problem,
I used
we're
to
gonna be
tell
known
that to
as the
people all the
worst
time that I
generation.
worked with. I'm like, what if
Our
we
children,
tried
our
it? What
grandchildren
if we
depend on us
tried?
taking action, and everything's on the
What do we
table.
lose if we
And
try?
I'll just mention one thing, and that is when
And I
Bill
just
Clinton was
think-
president, he looked to see what
What an
Republicans and
amazing-
Democrats could do together. Each came together.
I mean,
and found
because
an
when I
equal
was running
amount of tax
nonprofits,
increases,
you know,
revenue
like or
increases, and
doing
spending
operations
cuts,
and stuff,
and got a deal done.
part of my
and got us
job
on
was
track and
program
actually got a balanced
evaluation,
budget.
monitoring and
This is something we
evaluation,
can
or at
do,
least
but only if
overseeing
we
the
do it on a
function of it.
bipartisan basis. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking
And
Member.
I can tell
thank
you, a
both
lot of work
senators. We're
was put
honored by your
into
participation
monitoring
today.
and evaluating the
I'm
work that we were
inspired by your
doing
words and
in our
and
after
your
school
courageous
programs,
leadership,
et
and I
cetera.
hope we can get this done. I really
And
do. And I
there
know
were
you have a
aspects
short
of our
time, so
program that
we
showed
respect
great
that.
promise. There were
We
things
will
that weren't
continue
as
this dialogue
effective.
as
You
we
know, that's
move
normal.
these proposals
But
through our respective
I
chambers.
always was approaching
gonna
it from the
ask, because
standpoint
I've done
of
a
like,
lot
if
of
I went to a
talking
donor
here
to
at
say,
this
please give me this
hearing,
amount of money
that
for
my
this
friend,
program,
my
I would
best
be
friend
really,
actually from
it would
Georgia,
be
believe it or
important
not,
to me to show
former Chief Deputy Whip
people
Drew Ferguson,
why the
we
program
yield 3
worked,
minutes
where it
to you
worked,
for
and
a
where it
line of
needed
questioning, and then I
to
will
have,
yield to the ranking member.
where it had
So,
potential.
Drew?
And
Thank you,
where
Mr.
we
Chairman.
had
And, you know, normally
failed.
when I sit down with senators, I
And I don't
always
think
say it.
that
As a Georgian, I
that
used to want
is,
2 Bulldogs, 2 Atlanta
I
Braves,
think
and
there's
2
a lot of rich
Falcons
data,
to be my
especially in some
pallbearers so they could let me
nonprofits,
down one last time. When I got to
that have been
DC,
held to a
I figured
very
I'd
high
really needed
standard
6
about
senators,
providing
but I'm
service
just going to
and
let
providing
y'all, I'm going to
accountability
let
to
y'all off the hook
donors.
on that because I appreciate y'all
I
being here
spent a
today.
lot of time on that.
Bottom line, we've had a lot of
2 years
discussion
in
today
nonprofits.
on,
A lot of
you know,
time.
on a lot of topics,
So imagine
mandatory
if you took
spending,
programs where you
revenues,
could
all of the different
objectively
things. But, you know, where should we, and we've
invest
had
and
discussions
look at
about
their
where should we be
results.
making investments? Is it
I
in
don't
our
know. I
people?
just
Is
feel
it
like
in,
there's ways
you
to
know,
do this, and
is
for
it in
some
our
reason, I
systems?
know
Is
why
it
we
in,
don't,
is it
because
in
it doesn't
defense? You
concentrate
cannot
power and
invest in
money at the
anything
top.
if you're broke.
If you
Right?
cannot
And I go back, I'm a
concentrate
process
money and
guy.
power at
I
the
think if you
top, it
develop a
doesn't
good
interest
process, you learn to love that process. The
the
process will love you
billionaires
back. You
and the
stay
people
on,
they
you
own,
develop
like
a good
these guys.
process. And I go back and I look at the one
So
thing that's a common thread
it really is around
through
the billionaires.
every
It is
single
around
person that
cutting
has
off
pledged to run for Congress and has been
money
elected.
into
And
politics
we've
that
all
impact
said we want to
people's
be
lives,
fiscally responsible.
right?
What's standing in the way of us?
Oops, wait,
It is
stop.
a
I'm gonna
horrible
hear.
budget process. It is a process where there are 50 acceptable
I know.
pathways to failure
I agree
and
with you.
about 1 or
Where's
2
the
acceptable
action?
pathways to
And
success.
now I will say
And
this,
so
Scott,
I
and
think
I don't know
one of the
how
things
old
that
you
I
are,
would,
but
and I
I'm
would love
almost
to get
60,
y'all's
and
opinion on
I
this,
can really remember a time
is we look ahead, how
when
important is it that not only do we
any
deal
administration
with a fiscal
wouldn't
commission,
have done some of the things
as
that
you
Biden.
have
I'm actually
advocated,
surprised because
but let's
Biden to me
talk
was
about,
kind of
you know, as
moderate
part of
and
that, do
really
you
not
see a
in line
budget
with it.
reform
Hi, Bob.
process
I'm
as
so
being
sorry I
part of
missed
that?
you.
Because we quite
Hi.
candidly,
It's really nice
we
to
have
meet
a budget process that
I think the bridge is
yields
built in
an
P. Yeah.
aspirational document.
Wait.
It's really not ultimately tied to
Yeah. How about that
appropriations or
program
tied
working? How
to
about the thing in
the
LA? The 10
authorization,
was
and none of it's
closed, and now
tied to
it's
the
open.
revenue
You know what I
stream.
mean? Like
So,
it's
Senator Romney,
going to be
I'd
open
start
soon.
with you on this. Talk
I
to us
mean,
a
it's
little
just
bit about
can do things
process reform
if
and
you're
how
given
important it
the
is to put a
resources to
process
do
in
them.
place that
And it's not going
rewards
to be
early
perfect, but it's
success
certainly not going to be
and
bad,
punishes,
as bad
you
as
know,
it
and
is
punishes late
now.
failure so that Congress is incentivized to do the right thing.
So
I'm not going to disagree.
I just, and I agree, all student loans forgiven. And the reason I say
not going to
that is
disagree.
because if
I
you put
agree
that
with you
money
that
back
we
into the
need to have a
economy,
budget process
there are
which
people paying
follows the law.
$1,000, $2,000 a month.
And finding teeth
Can you imagine
to
that money
make sure
going
that budget
into
process is followed is
fucking
going to be
the
a challenge which
economy?
this commission can take on, among other things. I would note that I don't think process
God,
is
you know, like,
sufficient. It's necessary,
I don't know. I
but
was
not sufficient.
always
And I
like,
say that because
how
increasingly
much
people
can
have
I
found
invest
we
in
can make
people?
things
Like, how much
mandatory.
can I really put
Both
so that
chambers have
it's
said,
like
hey,
the
we can put
best
this
place to
outside the
work?
budget. We can put it as a
You
mandatory
want to
spending item.
come, you
And
are
now
part of the
almost
mission,
70%
you are
of our
like,
federal spending is mandatory.
your
It's not
input is
part of it. So
valued.
if we had a perfect
You
budget
know, like,
process,
there's ways to do
we
this.
may do a better job taking out some waste and abuse and
There
excess
isn't
in our
an
spending.
option. I
Although
mean,
you
yeah,
saw that
you're
as a
right,
percentage of the
Diana, you're so
GDP,
right.
domestic spending and defense
But
spending
at the
is
same
actually going
time,
down.
we're being hoarded by
Our
you.
challenge is we have baby boomers, a
Yeah.
lot of us. And we're just
Um,
recognizing that presents a real fiscal challenge for us. And
I
we're going to have
just,
to deal
I
not just with the process of dealing with our budget,
don't know.
but
I just,
also dealing with the
I guess at this
non-budget,
point
if
in
you
my
will, the
life, I'm kind of
non-discretionary
like,
items of our
I'm
spending as well.
delighted to see things like the
Chris, I'm gonna say one
infrastructure,
thing
like
real
the
quick,
CHIPS
okay?
Act,
Please.
We have the
like
budget
actually putting
on the laws right now. Congressional Budget
legislation
Act
behind
1973.
ideas that
That's
I
set
feel feel
that
are
timeline.
further
It
to the
sets it
left
basically April
than
15th of
I
each year. We're
presumed
supposed to basically pass a
Biden
budget
or
resolution.
whoever the
And
nominee
then
would
again
be.
by September 30th,
So,
pass an
and
appropriation.
I'm not, you know, I'm still,
teeth.
I'm
You've
not
heard about no budget,
beholden
no
to
pay, all the
anyone
different-
really.
We've got to
I'm
find a
more
way to
about who's
protect
going to
the
do
law
the
we
right
have.
thing
And if it's not going to be something
as
that you're
often
coming
as
in and saying, we're
possible.
going to do budget, no pay, makes sense to me.
And so
West
that's my,
Virginia,
that's my,
you don't do your
that's
work,
what-
you don't get paid. And if you do get paid, you've done your
I
work.
want the guy that does the
Pretty
right
simple. But
thing. Here we
with
go.
that, why not have mandatory cuts if we don't do it on time?
Also, we have to
Want
stop
do.
gendering
That's what
everything.
could be done.
frankly.
And the bottom line is if we don't,
I know. I
uh,
just,
I'm trying to preserve Social Security.
I
got
actually,
400,000
I mean, I'm
people
more
out of
encouraged than I've ever
1.7 million
been.
people in my
I've
state.
never seen an
400,000
administration
people on
like I
Social Security
started
and
this
Medicare.
stupid
Social
tirade.
Security is their lifeline.
I haven't seen an
Within 10 years,
administration
they're going to
take
have a
some of the
20% cut.
statements
So
and
if
some
Aunt
of the
Mary is
moves
getting
that legislative moves that
$1,000 a month
Biden
now,
and
she's
Harris
going
have
to
made.
open the mail and get $800
And
a
I
seat. What
know
could
this
the hell
is
happen?
of little
How come you all come?
consequence,
I'm
but
trying to preserve
it
that.
seemed very
That's what we should be talking
important
about.
to me.
How do you preserve
I
the
have
system?
never heard a
No,
president
this-
in my lifetime publicly
The guy that was screaming back here.
state support
Okay, those
for a
people there, they don't
two-state
want him because, you know,
solution in
his generation might have
Palestine.
to have some adjustments.
I
made.
have not.
But anybody
I
50
would
and
love
over, we've been
someone
talking about,
to
we're
correct me,
preserving
but
the
I have
system
not heard a
we have.
president say that
And
out
they're
loud,
trying to weaponize it is what they're trying to do. Can't let it happen.
and I've heard
Yield
him
back.
say
Thank
it
you, Mr. Chairman. Thank
a
you.
couple
I
of
thank the
times.
gentleman.
Hi.
Now give as
Oh.
much time as you may take.
Well, I'm glad you could spend a little time
Thank
with
you,
us.
Mr. Chairman,
Val.
and thank you, senators,
Great
for
space last
being here.
night,
First,
Gal.
Mr. Chairman, I
I
ask
hope we do
unanimous
that
consent
again.
to include the following in the record. Letters to the both of us from the American
Now put
Federation
on
of
your
Government
taxes.
Employees, the
Daycare.
Bipartisan Policy Center, and the
Let's
National
fucking
Postal Mail Handlers
extend
Union.
public
A
education
letter to all
to
representatives and senators from the
daycare.
AARP. And finally, a letter to all members of Congress
Expand
from the
public
President and
education
CEO
to
of the National
daycare.
Committee to Preserve Social Security and Medicare.
These are all based in
Period.
West Texas,
I-
without objection.
Cradle to the grave.
Good organizations. But well,
Help
thank you again, and very much admire both of your careers in public service. Just a couple points, and then I wanted
Oh, yeah.
to give you both the opportunity
My work now is
to
in support of that mission.
address
Yes.
something that my predecessor, who served on one of these commissions that didn't
I don't think
succeed,
it
said
it's never
when
been.
we had a
and-
hearing
and
here a couple
You're
weeks
right,
ago on
Badger.
exactly
Jimmy
the same
Carter,
topic.
definitely.
First, I always point
bless
out to
Jimmy
people,
Carter.
because, you know, sometimes through nostalgia,
Disagree, there is a God.
sort of fairy tales get
Um,
told about a perfect past
but-
that was never so, sadly.
No,
Everyone points to the
it
great
has not
example in
been
1983,
something that
where
presidents
President Reagan and Tip O'Neill
could
shook
easily
hands
say
and they
out
saved Social
loud.
Security.
And I know it
That part
seems
is true. The part that is
maybe
often
like an
left out
insignificant step.
is that we were literally
To me,
just
it felt
weeks
very
away
significant.
from
And I
Social
don't know.
Security
And I
payments
think
being
that once
missed.
you let things
That's
out
how
like
close
that,
to the
it's hard to back
deadline they
down from
were.
them.
So I
And
point
so
out to
I know
people,
that
I have good news and I have bad news.
I'm
The
glad
good news
he was
is we have
thinking
time.
about, like,
Social
saying
Security
that
Trust Fund
deliberately
will
so that it's
become
really out.
insolvent either 2033 or 2034, depending on if you use the
and,
CBO
you know,
figures
beyond
or the
that,
Social
I know
Security
it's a
trustee
horrible
figures. So
situation.
we have about a decade. Medicare trust funds become insolvent a little bit before that.
Hello, hot mess
So the good news is we
summer.
have
I'm
time.
good. How are you?
The bad news is
Hope
we
you're
have
good.
time. And given the way human
Oh,
nature
you're
is, given the
good,
way
beautiful.
Congress
I hope you're good. Unions are getting
tends to
stronger.
act
Yes.
just
Yeah.
basically
I mean,
based on
actually, and he's
deadlines,
such a union president.
time in this
He's a
regard
pretty good
is not our
senator.
friend.
So
I would also
anyway,
point
I
out
guess the
that,
point is that
and I,
as
gentlemen
somebody
weren't here
who's
for
just
this,
been
but in
around a
previous
long
hearings and in the
time,
previous panel,
I can say
where
that
we have
at
three
least
different
he has
bipartisan
surprised me
sets
a
of
couple
representatives
times with
their own commission
some
ideas, which actually are very similar
long overdue
to what you
moves.
have
Now,
come
if
up
we
with.
get voting rights secured, that would be
Ultimately,
really fucking
regardless of the shape and form of a commission,
amazing.
or if Congress just finally did its job in terms of the legislative process, it ultimately will
might have,
come
but I
down to
don't
a
know.
decision
I don't know.
of either more revenues
Probably.
or cuts or a blend of the two. I
Um,
have been quite clear. I come down on the
yeah,
side of
we're
more
just
revenues.
looking at we're
I have a
actually
piece
just,
of
I'm talking
legislation
over
I've put,
boring
I put it right there in writing.
So it's
What my
very,
plan would be to
all blah, blah,
ensure Social Security is there through the year
blah.
2100.
It's not how
Sheldon
old you are.
Whitehouse
It's
has
how
the
you are
companion piece of
old.
legislation in the
I
Senate.
decided I'm
And I
not
think
a
it's important to
boomer.
keep in mind
I
where
just
the
want you
American
guys to know
people are
this,
on this issue.
because I'm on the cusp of boomer.
According to Navigator
And
polling
so I
from
feel
this
like
June,
I am much more of a
when
Gen X
asked about
personality
approaches
than
to
I am of a
reducing the
boomer
deficit,
personality. So I'm fully
82% of Americans
everybody.
opted for raising taxes on the top 1% in
Yes,
corporations,
President
including
Carter
closing
did
tax
probably. It
loopholes.
did say it. I just
And
have to
only
find it. That's the only
7%
reason I say probably.
opted for cuts to Social
Oh,
Security and
yay.
Medicare. See, the American people are pretty clearly, overwhelmingly honestly, on the more revenue side of this equation, as opposed to cuts.
God, let's see if there's anything else. Hold
Now,
on.
finally, I just want to give you the opportunity to respond to something.
I wish we had caught this.
My predecessor, the chairman of this committee, John Yarmouth, he
Oh, you
served
know
on one
what?
of these commissions that unfortunately did not succeed, which has been the history of the commissions, the
let's
various ones that have existed over the last decade or two. And he said something in his opening statement that I'm just going to read, and I wanted to invite the both of you to comment or point out where you think he may be wrong. He said, quote, "While some of the other members of this committee might take issue with my evaluation, I believe the process illuminated one fairly obvious but unavoidable truth.
Okay, that's
the problem is not the process, it's the people. In other words, if members of Congress are not willing to muster the determination and courage to take on our fiscal challenges, even the best ideas will never be implemented." So I'd open up to the both of you to either agree or disagree or in any way react to what Chairman Yarmouth said. So I'll yield Senator Romney, Senator Manchin.
Let me just say on that, I look back in history and try to figure out. Ross Perot ran. And he ran on one night, the finances of our country, and made that his focal point of running.
Wait.
We were maybe $2-3 trillion in debt. That was, he knew we were going in the wrong direction and no one was stopping it. So that caused
the ACLJ.
concern.
Okay.
We should have been alarmed. And we weren't. How many of us know people that we talk to that says, I don't mind paying taxes, I just don't like how you spend it? We hear that from everybody, people of high net values and all.
Oh, no,
How
are you
did we
not?
do it in 1997? How did they do it with Clinton and basically Newt Gingrich putting Erskine Bowles, most responsible, reasonable.
3110. That's one.
Here's my other least favorite person in the universe.
110. There has been movement too
I have
since we
a
were
few.
on Capitol Hill with families.
Sorry to switch
of
around.
these hostages
This
taken
is the
by
Jay
Hamas.
Sekulow
There were some clear
Gross
things
Show.
that we wanted to see done.
Official
by
ACLJ.
Congress that could be pretty much bipartisan.
Breaking. Special
And two of
counsel
those
targeting
pieces,
everyone who interacted with
resolutions
Trump
have
Twitter.
passed. The third that
Oh
we're
my
waiting
God.
on is the
Wait, we gotta
next
see the
level
chat.
of funding to
the
Israel
best
to
part.
continue its war
One of
to
the best parts is
eliminate
the chat.
Hamas. But these are two very important actions. One was voted on completely unanimously by Congress,
which is stupid asses
including,
over at
you know,
Jay
people you
Sekulow.
wouldn't normally expect, and that was calling on
Right.
Hamas to immediately release the hostages
Wait, here we
taken
go.
during the October
That's what I was
7th,
going to watch, a
2023
documentary
attack.
about Fauci.
Unanimous
on Rumble. I feel sorry
resolution
for Fauci.
passed by the
Oh
United
my
States
God,
Congress.
it's terrible.
And the second
terrible.
resolution was a resolution 412. One voted no, which was Thomas Massey. He just doesn't like the language that
1978,
was
Camp
used.
David. Thank you,
And on
Badger.
speech, and then
Thank you, Badger.
Tlaib didn't
Oh, I
even vote
do,
no.
because
She
he had
voted
the summit
present.
or whatever,
This
right?
measure
Oh my God,
reaffirms
that's terrible.
Israel's right to exist
I'm
and
terrible.
rejects the calls
Thank
for
you.
Israel's
And thank
destruction.
you,
So again, a 412
Thank you,
to one
Badger,
vote
so
there.
much.
All right, Ralph Reed's
Keeping us
joining us,
honest.
and Ralph
Millionaires
has been
speaking.
orchestrating
And Jay really
very
wants to be
important
young.
letter going to the United States Congress.
Aw.
Ralph, tell us a little bit about,
Met him,
for our
Scott.
audience
That's
here,
so
what the
cool.
letters entail. What's the kind of the main takeaway points?
Okay, so this
Jay,
is Jay
the
Sekulow. Jay
takeaway
Sekulow
is,
is
number
Trump's
one,
former
we're calling
lawyer.
on
Is that Ralph
Congress to
Reed?
act swiftly and immediately to get Israel the military aid package that
that's
it needs to win the war in Gaza and
Or
defeat
baby
Hamas.
tomorrow.
But as I don't need to
Or
explain
baby
to you,
tomorrow.
Jay or Jordan or your listeners,
A little
as
baby
critical as
tomorrow, and
that
I'm really
is,
here to say.
it's even more
Putting
critical to
shackles on
deal
my
with the
legs
deeper
today.
and systemic problem of Hamas's
I'm Peter
paymaster
Navarro,
and
and I'm
commander,
here
which
to
is
say
the radical
I'm scared
regime
of
in
those
Iran.
shackles on my legs
So in
today.
addition to that, the letter which went to the Hill yesterday, and which we were honored to have ACLJ Action join us on, calls for freezing the $6
I was
billion
in San
that the
Francisco in the 80s.
administration was about to release
I guess
to
I shouldn't say
Iran
that.
under the U.S. prisoner
Oh, I'm
swap.
supposed to stop giving him some
Secondly,
Judas Pence.
passed the Maximum Pressure Act, which reimposes the strict sanctions on Iran and its energy programs under Donald Trump.
Yep, the
Under
Orange
Biden,
Mafia lawyer.
they've
That's right.
reaped
Who is this
tens of
though? Who's
billions
this
of dollars
corpse?
in profits
Let's
off
see.
their
What are
oil and
you?
other energy programs.
Who are you?
Jay, that they've been able to plow back into
Nobody
terrorism.
can give you a little
And
name
it
tag.
also
What the
calls
hell?
for things
Oh, God,
like
I think I must
revoking the
take a
tax
roll.
exempt status of universities
Oh,
that
oh,
tolerate,
oh.
foment, or advance anti-Semitism. And it also is a
Whose
calls
hand
for
was
the
that?
passage
Whose hand?
of a
What are you
bill that
doing?
would prevent federal
Who's
contractors
in there with you?
from engaging
Just a
in
hostage
boycotts
video.
of Israel,
Like,
boycott,
shackles on my-
divestment
That is
activities,
Ralph
or
Reed.
other
Fuck,
overt
I knew
acts
it.
of anti-Semitism. So just to be clear, This is a
Oh, I guess his painting
comprehensive
caught up
national
with him
security
in the
agenda
attic.
designed to hamstring Iran, deal with Iran, defeat Hamas and other terrorist proxies
This orange
funded
man,
by Iran,
this orange
and
man rep
combat
is paying
anti-Semitism.
himself.
I think we
Okay?
honored
He
to
dumped
have
that
ACLJ on this
place
letter.
a long
And we're
time
honored to
ago.
be
I
on the
think.
letter, and it's a great group of people joining you, Ralph, and the team at Faith and
Evangelist
Freedom
shit,
Coalition,
evangelist
Dr.
shit.
Dobson, Jonathan
Oh
Falwell,
yeah, we can
Dr.
read that.
Jeffress as well. The big
Gordon
names,
Robertson
Richard
from
Land,
CBS.
Jack Graham,
Yep.
Gordon Robertson, James
John
Robeson,
Hagee.
John Hagee,
This
a
guy's
whole list
the Ed
of group people.
McMahon
I
of
read an
fashion.
article
He's
this
the
morning
fascist
on
Ed
anti-Semitism that really shocked me, Ralph, because I went to GW, which is a secular university with a very large Jewish student population, kind of like Tulane. And in this study that was done in the past month, 67 to 70% of Jewish students
Oh, they
feel
are okay.
unsafe
Let me tell
on
you about
campus,
Jay
and that they
Sekulow
have
and
actually
this
encountered
entire
an
Palestinian
anti-Semitic
Israel.
event targeted
He
at
is
them
well, obviously, I
personally
understand.
in
He's
just the
definitely
last month
a huge
since
part of
this
the
conflict
Jewish
really
community.
began. So,
He
since October
actively
7th.
fundraises,
Numbers
etc.
like that really remind us about how quick
But
the
they
left
are
has
using
jumped
this
on this
as a
anti-Israel, anti-Jewish train.
fundraiser. It's the most.
No, it really
It
does.
wasn't him. Boy, it sure did look
Jordan,
like him.
It's horrifying and it's scary.
Sure did look
I
like.
mean,
It
this
sure looks like him.
October 7th was not only the worst attack on Israel since the
Wasn't
founding
he
of the modern
painting
state of
the
Israel in
parents?
1947.
No,
it was not only the largest slaughter of innocent Jewish
you're talking about the little
people
video I
since the
made.
Holocaust, but it has
That's
apparently
Tintin.
ripped a
That's
scab off
Brian
that
Glenn
maybe a
from
lot
RS
of us
Feminist
were
standing with
unaware was there. You know, we all repeatedly say never again. And we have all devoted our careers to standing up to religious bigotry in all of its ugly
I
forms,
can't remember his name.
including anti-Semitism.
Ah, here we
But
go.
to see this kind of
Gal's
overt
on it.
anti-Semitism, the
Mark
kind of
Coletta.
statistics that you're citing, and there are others that are just as frightening, and to see the overt violence against Jews,
For Leo.
it just goes to show you that the evil that lurks in some people's hearts doesn't go away just because we've advanced as a society.
Oh, girl,
It's
let me
still
tell
there.
you. Let me
Hatred
tell you
against
about you and
God,
your
hatred
friends.
against
Do you
Jews,
have
hatred
a
against
couple days?
Christians,
Because
basically hatred
real,
against God.
I got
and the
bad
people of
news
God,
for
and that's
you.
what it really is. It is
Evil
the
lurks.
face of
It
evil,
lurks, baby.
and we are called as children of God
The
and
evil
followers
lurks
of Jesus
inside of
Christ
you, my
to
friend.
resist that evil with all of our might, and that's what we're doing.
I got about 40 seconds here, Ralph, but I wanted to ask you this, your first
It
point
is
in the
Ralph.
letter, to make it a top priority to advance
Who knows
legislation to
what
help
evil
fund
does in
Israel's
the hearts
defense
of
as soon
men?
as possible.
Who
We've
knows
seen
what
this
evil
pass
does?
the House, but with cuts also to Ukraine aid and cuts to the
Yes,
IRS.
I
And the
do.
Democrats won't pass it.
I don't
At some
know.
point, I think, I don't know if it's a
We
clean
do
bill.
know
I
that
know
evil.
Speaker
The shadow
Johnson's under a lot of
do.
Republican pressure, but I also know some friends on the Democrat side who are very
We all look
pro-Israel who
alike.
say,
I
listen, I
know.
can't
But
vote
the thing is you
to
just called
cut
him
aid
Ralph.
to Ukraine and the
Oh, you know
IRS,
what?
but I want to vote to get this money to Israel as soon as possible. They need to come up with a
Or
compromise
maybe I
too.
called him Ralph. Now I don't know.
They do, Jordan, and
Like
you've
Christmas
asked
fascist
the
males.
key question, which is, as you know, in the Senate,
It's
the
like the
Republicans
required
are trying to
gray
get changes to
face
border policy.
and gray
They say if we're going
hair.
to do this and we're going to help
Ghost bus
Ukraine, we
drivers,
have to
yeah.
secure the southern border.
Ghost
We share
buses.
that objective. So just to be clear, and thanks for the question, we're agnostic on whether or not this needs to happen as a standalone bill or as part of a package with other congressional priorities. What we are saying is
What you gonna count?
act swiftly,
Ghost
act
buses.
now, act immediately.
When the
Israel
fascists
is in the
come
struggle of its
to
life,
your
and
neighborhood.
particularly with the
What you gonna catch?
conflicting
Ghost
signals and
buses.
ambiguity being sent by
They're
the
going
administration,
down
we need Congress
to
to
the
take a
DC.
strong stand for Israel and the Jewish people.
People can go see the letter at the Faith and Freedom website,
Oh,
ffcoalition.com. Chairman Ralph Reed. Ralph, thanks as always for joining us today on Seculo.
Are you gonna do
Thanks to
another
both of
commercial?
you.
Very good.
Right
All
wing
we're getting
commercial
calls
time?
coming in on this news we're breaking about Jack Smith and I think one of the greatest egregious issues on free speech I've ever seen. Let's go to Diane's calling from Nevada on line 4. Diane, welcome to
Oh, here we go.
broadcast. You're on the
Nut
air.
job calling. That's good.
Hi, Jay. Thank you for taking
Sure.
my
Hey,
call.
Jay,
and
thanks
thank
for
you
taking
for
my
everything
call.
you do. I am one of your champions.
Great.
And
I am.
my question
I'll give you my
around
money.
this is this going to be like a class action suit representing people?
I'm not sure we can do it as a class action. There's rules on class action, but we will be representing people. I've already talked to some
People,
very
not you,
well-known
honey,
people
but
that
people.
would be plaintiffs in this. But my goodness, it could be anybody that was
egregious
retweeted a Donald Trump tweet, friend or foe for that matter. I mean, it's the egregious nature of this is such a chilling aspect of free speech that the Department of Justice Special Counsel wants to know what your draft tweets or retweets were regarding this now leading presidential candidate. To me, it shows you the depth of what this guy is doing, and it's really outrageous from a first. I've already assigned, Jordan and I have assigned a team to figure this out. I hope by tomorrow we're able to announce that we're preparing a lawsuit. I mean, I think this is that serious.
Yeah, I mean, they try to
We're
get
just
you by
being
the
bored
first
by
couple of
fascists.
pages. There's some focus on Donald Trump's account, but even before you get there, you look at all users the subject account has followed, unfollowed, and muted. But also all users who have followed, unfollowed, muted, unmuted, blocked, or unblocked the subject account. So that includes all of you who follow at Real Donald Trump on Twitter, now X. It also says all information anytime Twitter users have favorited or retweeted tweets posted by the official Donald Trump account that has 57 million followers. This is during the time period that the election was going on, before people were voting in October.
Have a good day at work.
Of 2020. So the exact dates were.
And we'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
We have
okay. Oh my God, you guys.
The dates were October 20th to January 2021. So all of October 2020 and through all of January 2021. So October, November, December, and January. Think about how many times you might have retweeted a Donald Trump tweet then, heading into the election if you were a Trump supporter. Think about how many times you might have put his username in a tweet you sent, in an article. Did you ever think that you'd be in a warrant to get your information so they can create? This would be like the
listen, people.
List. You know, I mean, they call the MAGA world.
You're going to see me tomorrow morning.
You got to support the ACLJ folks
around
during this Faith and Freedom Drive.
7 a.m.
Double the impact of your donation today at aclj.org. We're not just protecting rights abroad. We're protecting your rights here at home. aclj.org.
Best
what
wishes
does it
to
mean
you
to
as
be
well,
an
Scott.
ACLJ
Thank you
champion?
so much. And
Becoming
thank you
an
for your
ACLJ
generosity today
champion
and gifting
joining us
memberships. It was
in
very,
the
very
fight for
kind of
liberty,
you. And
in
I
the fight for
very
law,
much appreciate
in the
it.
fight
And
for
you as well,
peace, in the
Diana. I
fight
know
for
you're going to be
freedom.
right back, but
The battle's
I
being
want to say
fought
that
in courtrooms right now.
so much to
will
everyone.
decide what kind
who
of
gifted. Margaret
future our kids will
gifted
have
today.
tomorrow.
So when
Really
you
great.
join as an ACLJ champion, we
Join
now
us
actually
in
have a
this-
baseline
speaking
to
of
know what we
grateful
can
for your
possibly
support,
accomplish. And
so's
the
he.
dream is vast.
Oh,
Being a
we're
champion
gonna
means
do
that
the
you
thing,
get to come
be a
alongside
champion for
churches who are being
justice
zoned
and
out of
churches
properties,
and
who are being forced
religion.
to
We
obtain
like
liquor
religion.
licenses
Yeah, the
simply to
key.
operate, coming alongside
Okay,
students who
good
are
to
being
know.
told they can't read their Bible
We'll
in school or even bring it.
Communicate that to
Becoming an
Jay
ACLJ
Grant.
champion allows us to take on more cases
Bye.
internationally. In places where Christian persecution is happening on a daily basis. The need for the defense of these Christians is overwhelming, and we can't do it without you.
Becoming an ACLJ
Only
champion
for Christians.
means getting into a fight with deep state elites
Derp state.
who are attacking
Derp state
our
elites.
school children,
That's right.
who are
Derp state
attacking
elites. I'll give you
pro-life
an answer.
Christians.
We have lawyers right now winning in courtrooms across the world, but none of it would matter without the ACLJ champions. Simply put, we don't win unless ACLJ
It's monthly,
champions
right?
continue to step
There you
up.
go.
We can't do what we do
We
without
can't do what we need
By
to
becoming
do
a monthly
without
donor,
money.
you can become a champion
We
of
can't.
life.
Look at
A champion of
me and my
liberty, a champion of freedom.
outfit.
Please join us.
We
Please
all
join
borrowed
us.
the same
Please join
jacket.
us. Become an
except for her.
ACLJ champion today.
1916, dun, ready to fight, and we're ready to fight, ready to fight, yeah. Join the fight. I'll sing their jingle. Jingle, jingle.
All right, welcome back to Secular. We know our First Amendment freedoms are always under attack.
But you know what?
How extreme
If we're
they
under
come under
attack,
attack,
you can help by giving
under
us
this over the last really 4 or 5 years.
Give me
This
an
is
I'd
pretty
say.
extreme. Let me just jump in for a second. This is like the most extreme. This is in a search warrant that Jack Smith issued in January that targets anybody who retweeted or followed Donald Trump from October of 2020 to January
I'm just
of
not digging the
2021.
haircut. I'm
This
not
is
digging
in
the
a
small
document
glasses for the size
filed
of his
with the
face.
grand jury that issued a
Now, granted, I
subpoena.
wouldn't necessarily want bigger
And
glasses,
Twitter
but
ultimately
there's something
complied with it.
off
Go ahead. We got our
balance
friend
about
Tulsi
Jay
Gabbard.
Twitter
Sekulows
ultimately
head.
complied after they
Can I
said they're
just
going to
say
be
that?
fined. They were fined, I think, over
Who
$300,000.
are all these Dewey
And that was going to happen
douches? Well, let
every
me tell
single
you.
day until they
That one,
complied.
I don't
So
really know. He's
ultimately,
the Ed
they
McMahon
complied.
for this
But
show.
I want to go
and
right
I
to
don't,
Tulsi
I
Gabbard.
don't really know
Tulsi,
his name, even
who's
though I've been
a
watching
senior
him
analyst with
for
us
way too
on
long.
secular. I mean,
On
the
the
idea
other
here,
one is
Tulsi, if
Jay
you wanted to
Sekulow, who
create the
used to
enemy
be,
list
and
of
I
all
think might
enemy lists,
still
this is a pretty
provide
easy way to
some
do it
input
because
for
they
Trump's
wanted all
legal
the
team.
people
He
who
used to be
interacted,
one of
and it's
the
pretty easy to say
lawyers
these are the people
for
that liked him,
Trumpy
so we'll
Trump.
put them in one category.
And
Here's the people
now
that
he
were
has his own
writing
show.
things bad about him. We'll
And
put
he's
them in a
friends with
different
Stephen
category.
Miller.
Those people are okay. So we'll know which
And
accounts
yeah,
we need to
they're douchey
follow in
douches.
the law
Doughy
enforcement community,
douches.
which is, by the
Ultra
way,
MAGA.
would have been
This is American
millions of
Therapy says
accounts
that. Is that what
leading
it
up
says?
to and
American
following
Therapy?
that contested
Let me
election.
see what that name is.
Jordan and Jay, this is
Oh,
a
hey,
direct
okay, it's
assault on
Tulsi
our First Amendment
Gabbard, and
rights.
I'm
I
sitting
think it's
here in
important
my
as you
house
look
in
at
Hawaii,
the
and I
alarming
come to you, and I'm gonna,
passages in that
and I just
warrant.
got a call from my
We,
friend
we have to look at this in the
Putin,
broader
and then
context
I
of
said,
what has
"What is
been
American
happening
Therapy?"
here over the last several years, where
Weird.
not only are they
This
compiling
is
these
so
lists of
ridiculous.
who
Nancy
was
called it. It
pro-Trump
was
or who was
ridiculous.
against Trump,
It's
we've
so
seen
ridiculous.
already how the Biden administration has been
Yeah,
working
you see
directly
how the
through the
Biden
FBI
administration,
to try
Biden,
to bully these
Biden,
big tech and social media
Biden.
companies into
And
blocking,
then, yeah,
censoring,
it's
or
like
canceling
a
accounts
cabal and
of
like
those they deem as either pro-Trump
like
supporters or those
TDS
who have a
and
narrative that is counter
you
to or
know,
opposed to or even
weaponized
questioning
justice system,
the narrative or the
two-tiered
position of the
weaponized two-tiered
Biden-Harris
justice
administration.
system,
There are a few other
if
things
you
in that
will,
warrant that I thought were pretty
if
alarming.
you could. Man,
Not
here's
only
some
are they
alarming
looking
things
at,
I found.
who retweeted or
I better
liked
work on my
or
fucking. I
commented
gotta
on
finish that fucking
President
Sydney
Trump's
Powell
tweets,
thing.
but they're
Now that I have
also
my computer
looking at
back, I'm gonna
his
finish the Sydney
draft
Powell thing.
tweets, things that he never actually even
I
put
gotta
out.
do that. And I really
They're
now I
also
built it up so
looking at
hard. I gotta
his
make
private
it work.
direct messages.
I
They're
gotta make it
also
do something.
looking at the IP addresses that were used
Oh,
by the
okay. So
Trump
basically,
account.
here's the
So
next
what
scare
happens?
tactic.
Why would they want
All
to
right,
have
you heard it
access
here
to the
first.
IP
Breaking
address?
news.
Well, if you
Breaking
get
news.
access to the IP address, then you get
The
access
right
to
is
the
now going
activity
to
that
go
occurred on
hard
that
and
IP
deep
address.
and
And then to top it
thrusting
all off,
on
they've got
this.
this
They're coming
non-disclosure
after
agreement
you
saying
because you liked
to
a
then
tweet of
Twitter,
President
you're
Trump.
not allowed
I'm
to
not
tell
kidding.
President Trump
That's what the whole
what we
show
are
is.
requiring you
The
to
whole show is
disclose.
fear
This is
mongering.
such a
But
violation
because
of
you liked a
privacy,
tweet,
civil liberties,
Merrick
First Amendment
Garland's going
rights,
to
and
come
free
knock
speech,
down
not
your
only of
door
President
with
Trump,
his
but like you said, of
baby-sized
everyone
battering
who had
ram.
any
Thanks,
kind of
Obama.
interaction with his account during that period of time. It is such an
Wait,
egregious
what do you
assault
have to do with
on our
it?
constitutional rights. I am so glad that you guys at the ACLJ
I
are
don't
taking
know. I
on
don't know about
this fight,
that.
because this kind of thing can't be allowed to just happen and people shrug their shoulders and say, well, gosh, golly
Yeah, there's
gee,
like, I'll tell you what,
this
there's an
administration
Obama
has so brazenly
obsession.
really undermined and thrown our constitutional
Phew.
rights in the trash. We have to take them on
I
and
did
fight.
not like
There's this
something.
doctrine, Tulsi, and it's been around for really since the 50s under the First Amendment,
First
and
they
it was
came for the
and
tweeters.
you've seen it
And I didn't
constantly. And it's
tweet.
this idea of the government can't do
So
something that
Putin's
chills.
personal
That's the
buff.
legal term they use. Chills free speech. In
Vladimir
other words, that
Vladimirovich
gives you a
called me
second
this
thought
morning and
about,
said,
hey, I know what I'm saying is legal,
Tulsi,
but am I going to get in trouble for saying
Tulsi.
it because
I don't know how
there's
you say
something in it
Tulsi.
the
I used to
government
speak Russian.
doesn't
That's
like,
why
and
I
that chills free speech?
try and
I
mimic
can't
a
think of
Russian accent.
anything more chilling
I actually actually.
I mean, anything
have
more
some
chilling
background
than a federal grand jury subpoena
Or you hate on
that
me.
says we want a list
Oh my God,
of
they're coming
everyone that
after
retweeted or
us
liked a
because
tweet
they're
of
coming after you.
the defendant.
Wait,
Here it's
what?
Donald Trump. So like
Who?
here's we could I guess create our Get Near Christmas naughty and nice list. I mean, this is such a violation of the First Amendment. Every civil libertarian in the country should be
Is it
going
really what you say it
ballistic
is,
right
though?
now on
Here's
this.
what my guess
And
is, Mr.
Jack
Sekulow.
Smith, I'm
My
trying to put
guess
myself
is
in the
that
shoes of the
you are
prosecutor.
intentionally
What were they
misinterpreting
thinking? First of all,
whatever
a
has
lot of this
just come
information they
out,
could have
which I am
gotten
now going to
just
go
by getting
find.
it. The chilling
You're an
aspect
idiot.
of this is actually that they
And
put this
then we'll go
in the
from there.
subpoena itself. And like you said, and then to top it off, they want to know of drafts
Suck my
that the Trump
subpoenas.
people were working on. It's beyond the pale. It's a violation of the First Amendment.
That was pretty good.
It's an unbelievable overbreath of what they're trying to do here, but they're doing it utilizing criminal process. And that's what should have everybody nervous here. This is a criminal
Let me
case
see if I can
with
find the
criminal process.
actual news story of what
You know what these
guys
lists
are
remind me of was I don't know if it was
going
a year or
crazy
two ago
about.
or when exactly it
I don't
was, but
think
remember when
anything has
AOC
actually
was
happened,
advocating for
but
there to be
okay.
lists
Let's see.
compiled of Trump
Here we
supporters
go. What?
with the intent of making it so that those people lost their jobs.
Did
These lists don't
you hear
exist.
that
They're
the
not
new
building these
strategy is
lists
that
just to
his lawyers
peruse
are
them.
saying he didn't
There
take
are
the oath?
consequences that will come from people who are on that list, and there's
That's-
number of
That's what
proof
they're going to
points
go on.
that show that to be true.
Where the hell? I don't
Jack
see
Smith
anything in the
is
news
such a
about
dangerous
okay,
person
Jack
for
Smith.
our democracy, even for people who don't like Trump, even for people who say, well, I will never vote
Oops,
for him. I
wrong
hate
one.
him. He's the worst. What if that is their position? They should be as equally concerned as the rest of us who believe in the Constitution, our civil liberties, and free speech, because if this is allowed to stand without being challenged and taken down, then who will be next? What kinds of lists will then be built? Because the precedent will then be set for whoever is next in power to say, hey, they did it. Why can't we do it then to go after our political
Tom
opponents
Fitton. Oh my
or
God.
those who we disagree with? And in this time of unprecedented anti-Semitism
tell
and
you.
these attacks, these kinds of lists should
Let
be
me tell
concerning to
you
everyone.
with
Tulsi, as always, we appreciate you
with,
joining us with your insight. I agree. I think that
with
letting
what
this
is going
happen,
on here.
this slippery slope, and you say,
Well,
"Well, I don't care."
actually,
This is the
there's
people
no-
who that like
No,
Donald
she
Trump.
didn't.
I don't like them, except for it said, and also one of the
okay,
people
so
who
Tom
interacted with
Fitton
him at
is
all. So
saying
if you were
that
against him,
Jack
your
Smith
name's on some
is
list too. It might
blah
not
blah
be
blah.
the bad
A
list right
sweeping
now,
subpoena on
but
American
a new
citizens,
administration
including,
comes in and says,
quote,
"Hey, let's see those
Twitter
lists
users who have
of the
favorited
people
or
you thought were
retweeted
the
tweets posted
good
by
people.
Trump's
Maybe
Twitter
now we'll
account, as
turn
well
them
as
into
all
the
tweets
bad
that
people we
include
need to be following."
the username
That's not what we need to
associated
be
with the
doing in the
account,
United States of
i.e.
America. On
mentions
either
or
side of the aisle,
replies.
that is not the right direction for our country. Tulsi, thank you for
Oh
joining
my
us. And Dad,
God.
that's why we got to
Let's
get this
get the
fight and put
actual fucking
and into this. I mean, the fact is,
things.
this warrant just got
There's
released.
just
That
not
was
even been
almost a
released
year ago.
publicly, and these
January.
guys are just like something's
It
been
just got
released
released
by a
just now,
lawyer.
but it
Is
is
that what
outrageous.
this is?
I mean, it is a gross violation of constitutional rights.
God.
So, folks, this is it for the month of November on our Faith and Freedom Drive. We are in the final 2 days of the drive. Your donations have kept us in the fight this year, and we've been winning
What
for you.
list
We're
will
sending
they
a demand
build?
letter
Well,
tomorrow to the UN Security Council on the Israel issue. We've got 15
let's see
state
here.
GOPs we're dealing with on this attempt to get Trump off the ballot. And again, you're for Trump or against Trump. The idea that the Secretary of State could just do this is outrageous.
Yeah,
We're
like
defending
the
pro-life cases, defending religious freedom, and now
Yeah.
we are defending your right to freedom of speech, which is being attacked here by, of all
Let me
people,
see. I'm
the
just trying to see
special
if there's
counsel.
anything.
I mean, this is what is so absolutely absurd here. The special counsel is the one doing this. So I want to encourage you to support the work of the ACLJ. This is the last 2 days are the most important for the month
Did
of
he do
November. It's a
commercials
Faith and
from
Freedom
where?
Drive.
Let's see.
ACLJ.org
Oh, I don't even know.
/faith and freedom.
That I don't
And
know.
any amount you donate will be doubled. And also,
Okay,
if you
wait.
make that gift
Gosh, I cannot.
monthly,
There's
you become
nothing.
an ACLJ
Okay, so this
champion.
is a
You're
made-up
one of our
thing
champions
by
today.
Tom
That
Fitton.
allows us to take these
This
cases
is a
that we're
made-up
not planning on,
distraction.
that
What
weren't
you're
in
watching
the
right
fight, so to
now
speak, and take them.
is boys
ACLJ.org. We got
raising
John
money
Schneider coming up next.
off of nothing. That's what you're watching right
We're
now.
at a moment in history we prayed we would never see again.
Pray
We're
we would
experiencing global
never
attacks on our
see
faith
this
and our freedom
moment. You know
that
what?
we haven't seen in
I mean,
generations. What we are
prayer was
witnessing
a
in
thing
Israel
for
could
me,
be the
I would say,
precursor to
yeah,
a second
I prayed
Holocaust.
this moment wouldn't
This
happen,
was
but
a
here we are.
full-scale land,
Thank you.
sea, and air invasion. Policies
Oh my
have
God, is
consequences.
this one of
Look
those
at the world
bakers?
we're in.
No,
Russia's fighting with
that, you
Ukraine.
guys.
China
Can't
about to invade
radicalize
Taiwan.
you.
The Middle East imploding.
Here at the ACLJ, we are uniquely
His
positioned
mercy
to meet these
endures
evil attacks head on.
forever.
We've assembled an elite legal
I'm
team.
gonna stop it because I don't want to keep radicalizing you. Now you know. Now you know. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I think it was just a planted story. Yeah. So don't fuck them. I would never vote for a candidate at less than 1080p. Well, thankfully I'm not running. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. I won't be running. But here's the thing. He, she's, and theys, my loves, my friends, foes, and anybody in between and outside of that. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go live, and we're gonna spend some time with little Jimmy Jordan. And Jimmy Jordan is the plans for a very good. Oh, okay. So here, wait. Oh my God, I have so much to say. Okay, thank you for reminding me, Rogue. So I okay, wait, what was I gonna say? Okay, so tomorrow morning, I think I have it scheduled for like right before 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern, et cetera, et cetera. I was going to go live because Jim Jordan's weaponization committee is doing, what is he doing? Wait, let me get the name of it. Hold on. Oh, please, we are now processing. What am I? What is it? I just want to see what I said it was. Oh, I guess I don't get to see it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm so dumb. Anyway, there's a weaponization committee meeting tomorrow morning. I can't remember what it's on, and it's something good. God damn it. I'm the worst hostess ever. Oh, Viva Barnes. Viva Fry is the worst. Viva Fry is the fucking worst. And Robert Barnes, that's his partner. Viva Fry and Robert Barnes, and they are the worst. Bitchin'. Hey, we had 3 channels. Yeah, no, girl, me too. Okay, so tomorrow morning, early, us and Jim Jordan, sure to be some fentanyl messaging there, and Biden corruption, and Hunter Biden, and all kinds of things. So we should probably come up with a bingo. Actually, that's what I'm going to work on this afternoon. I'm going to work on a bingo card for tomorrow's hearing. And then Friday, I'm going to be back with a special lounge in the morning because we have action happening in Georgia. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. That's the night that they found him guilty of fraud. Ooh, you don't mess with democracy or the rule of law here. Ooh. Funny's gonna show you how it's done. Oh my God, I just made that up in the moment. Whoop. Sorry. I have to be proud of myself for the small things. So anyway, Friday morning, I will be on twice. I will be on in the morning to go to stream whatever's happening in Scott McAfee's courtroom in Georgia. Georgia, Georgia. No peace I find. Just a soft, sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I had to finish that. Like an OCD thing. And then, oh my God, guess what? Saturday morning, live from LA Comic-Con. Well, and then Friday night I'm doing Lolo's Lounge. So we'll do trivia Friday night. And I'll do a proper lounge. Because I felt that we rushed it last week and I don't want to do that. So I'll do a proper lounge. But then Saturday morning, again, more Lolo. Too much Lolo. Hashtag. I'll be at Comic-Con all day. And I'll be streaming as much as I can, if not all day. So I'm packing up I'm charging up all those battery packs, babes. And tomorrow I get all the rest of the components of my cosplay. And if you don't recall what my cosplay is, I will remind you. Hold on. And so I will be, and I'm coming up with a couple of like easy questions to ask attendees at Comic-Con. I'm going to keep it light. I'm not going to get real political per se, to the degree that I don't get political. And I am, let's see. Oh, here we go. This is a good picture. Let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. Well, good enough. I'm going to be attending as I'm going to make this at home. I have all the components coming, and I'm going to be making it at home. But this is what I'm dressing as for Comic-Con. So I'm going to be, my costume's political, totally. And I mean, my questions will be somewhat political, but I'm not there to make enemies or, make a big scene. And that's not my point. My point is to see what's happening. I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con, number one. So that's fun just in and of itself. And then it'll be fun to interact with people. So yeah, it'll be fun. But no, I'm not going to get like heavy into, are you a maggot? If you're a maggot, I can't stand you. I don't need to do that. I don't need to be that way. Anyway, yeah, it's true. My costume is totally, yeah. Anyway, so fun. Will you be bringing a camera person? No, just me. So I think what I'm going to do, Max, is use, because my daughter is on set this weekend. So she's actually shooting something this weekend. And so she can't come with me. Or else she would be there because we both love the idea of going to Comic-Con. We've both never been, but she has to work. So I think I will, J-Rance! I think I'll use that selfie stick that I used when I was doing the dino stuff. And I think I've learned a little bit better about how to use it. Totes exciting. So exciting. I'm just a bell on Capitol Hill. I have to learn that song. Today I really have to film the Sidney Powell impersonation. Oh, Slava Democracy. Yes, indeed, my friend. Indeed. Thank you for all your work. My goodness, out there in the fray. Did you read Greg Oliar's? Oh, really? No, I didn't. Yeah, I think the selfie stick, yeah, that worked. So I think I'm just going to use that. It's fine. It works. I just need to like figure out how to hold it so that my stupid arms don't get tired because my stupid arthritis. I did not read it. Where is it? Hold on. Let me find it. Because it's in my email. It's in my email. It's in my email. La 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 la. I don't think he'd mind if I read it. Would he? I don't think. I don't think he'd mind it. Oh, the Cathedral in the Red Caesar? Is that the piece? Let me take a look at it. Hold on. I'm going to put my glasses on. Oh, it's really pretty. Hold on. Oh, whoops. Did it just go to a picture? Oh, it did. Let's see. How long is it? I can read it. It's kind of long. You know what I think I'll do, Gal? Is I will, okay, good. Because what I'll do is let me just check in with Greg and see if it's okay if I read it on stream. And I can throw up another stream a little later on, or I can add it till tomorrow mornings. I don't know. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure he's okay with it. Let me send him an email right now, actually. Mr. Olia. Hello, sir. Hi, Greg. No worries. I'll link it. I'll definitely link it in the stream so people have a copy of it because it's amazing. But wonder if it's okay if I read your piece on a live stream. Happy to. Oh, let me know. Boop. Boopity boop. I don't want that. I don't want that. I want his real email. Thanks. All right. Okay, here we go. Let me link this and then I will share it with everyone. Greg's a really great writer. Gosh, he's a good writer. He is such a good writer. Substank. It is. I hate Substank. I do. All right, here's the piece. Oh, I hope you can see it. All right, good. I can't wait. I will definitely see. I just want to check in with him. I'm sure he'll say fine, but I just want to see if he's okay with it. Do 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 do. What? Oh, I guess that didn't really. Did that not? I don't think it. Oh, you know what? It doesn't. I think YouTube is too weird. Well, that's not helpful. Oh, it's splitting up the fucking link. Dang it. All right. Sorry about that. I'm very sorry. I'll put it in the description. How about that? I'll put in the description of the stream after I close her down. But I will definitely throw up another live, not vomit, but actually put one up. And hopefully people can join us. Oh, it takes you out of YouTube. Okay, don't worry. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad it works at least. That's the important part. And so then I'll probably be back when I hear from Greg and schedule that little reading and we can have some fun. Maybe there'll be something. Oh, and then we've got I think the vote for Santos is happening tomorrow. So we'll have to see what's happening with the schedule in the morning. But my plan is to be on a little bit like around 6:45 a.m. Pacific, 9:45 Eastern. So I'll check the schedules tonight when they update the congressional stuff. And oh, is he really? I love him. I love Greg. I really do. I really do. I love him so much. And Stephanie is amazing. Stephanie is like one of the dearest people. Like, I don't know, really. Good people. So, yeah, I will do that. We have a lot. So this is going to be a busy weekend. This is going to be a very busy weekend. If you're a Lolo fan, you're going to like it. If you're not a Lolo fan, oh no. No, it's going to be sad, 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 sad. I love Greg and LB. They're great people. I hope they're listening. I don't think they are, but I hope they are. But I hope they know how much we like them. Yeah, so thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad we had this time together. Just to have a laugh and sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Watch for the Christmas album. Oh wait, I want to show you guys my album covers because really, I don't know if you missed these album covers that I came up with last night. I don't even know who you are, where you are. Hold on, let me find them because they're amazing. Where is it? Where are they? Do. God, I post too much. Can we call a thing a thing? I think I post. Oh, I know. I didn't even. Oh, no, I did post them. Wait, hold on. Lolo, let me rephrase that. Jay Rants. Oh, Jay, you're just busy. You're busy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me get you over here. Let me bring you with me. Let me bring you with me. Let me blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Bloop. All right. Titties for breakfast. So these were the album covers that I thought I would come up with, just as some concept art for a very Gal Squad Christmas. And so first we have this album cover, and she's looking very saucy and like unwrapped meat. It looks like she's already unwrapped, frankly. So there you go. Oh, Paulina and Jay Rand, say hello. Now this one was a little more classy, still sexy, but a little classier. She's looking like she made the naughty list, but she's pushing the media literacy. So we like her. We like her for that reason. Yep, she's a good one. And then this one I couldn't stop because number one, I do love this tree. Number two, the gift wrap dress. Okay, can we talk about the gift wrap dress for a minute? I don't know what's on her head, and this is an interesting companion and a special holiday gift for you from Reynolds Wrap. That's right, the modern holiday look and sound, a very Gal Squad Christmas. That's gift wrap, baby. I think it's gift wrap anyway. And then this one, which was my daughter's favorite, is Sing with Gal Squad. It's only $1.98. And number 3 is very good. Number 3 is very good. But this one with the creepy doll is pretty Christmas. Well, I didn't want to use Christmas because I'm not here to shit on Christmas or anything like that. Christmas records. I know. Well, I found these. All I did was say, give me creepy Christmas. Give me creepy Christmas album covers. And it came up with a bunch. And these were the ones that really rose to the top. Crazy Uncle Rudy. I love my Twitter. My Twitter's so good. Look at this. I was arguing with some guy, with Charlie Kirk's fans about charter school fights versus public school. Basically, Charlie wants to defund public schools. And so I'm like, you should Google what charter and magnet mean. Because he's like, that's a magnet school, not a charter school. And I'm like, okay, you should Google those terms. You fucking idiot. And then this one is to General Flynn and Liz Crokin, bringing back all the hits. I don't know how to spell, and hoping something sticks. You have nothing new, and it's weak. You're losing, fake General. Sydney is flipping like a coin. Wow. Bags. And I'm just loving on my Tintin. Loving on my Tintin right there. Yes, I am. I love him. Bye. Bye. I love that GIF. I think that's my favorite GIF. How do you solve a problem like the fascists? How do they act like they've a moral bone? Why do they keep on poisoning the native with bigotry and fear poured out their mouths? Oh, how do you solve a problem like the think tanks? Oh, let us go expose them, 'cause they're clowns. I gotta finish that one too. That's a Christmas song as well. Lots of Lolo. Too much Lolo. Too much Lolo. She's too much. This is a good one. Wow, I thought she was the pretty congresswoman from the theater. Expected a centerfold, but she's the other one. Will probably return. I think that's funny. Follow Michael. He has such a nice account. He comes up with some beautiful art and beautiful thoughts. Really, really appreciate Michael on the hellscape. I missed this little fucking performance yesterday. I was real mad about that. This one, you used to follow me. What the fuck is your what? Deserves it? Fuck you. You deserve my foot up your ass is what you deserve. Yeah. Okay. This whole thing about he's not an officer, that has to go away. Oh, Paulina, you shared these yesterday and I reposted them. Oh my God. These Jay Rance, you're so sweet. The thrift shop acquired Disco Noel. Oh, Disco Noel. I'm gonna have to look for that. Look at these pictures that Paulina shared. I mean, she shared someone else's pictures, but they're just gorgeous. They're just gorgeous. I want to sleep on the beach. That sounds really fun. Well, not probably Venice Beach, because that would be so pretty. So pretty. Thank you for sharing those, Paulina. They're so pretty. Jay Rance, thanks. That's really kind of you. You're very kind. You don't have to do that. Disco Noel. I got to look that up. I definitely have to look that one up. I want to. Lots of Lolo. Key of E for Roe. Oh, check your voter registration, darling, because they'll knock you off. Wait, what's the words? Let me see if I can do it anywhere decently. Hold on. Why isn't that song on here? Oh, you know what? It's on here. Beep, 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 beep. Hold, please. Oh, no, I didn't want that. I don't want that. Okay, here we go. Let me just clear my throat. Here we go. Disco Noel is 100% pure cheese. I love cheese. Check your voter registration, darling, because they'll knock you off. Next year, all our rights are on the chopping block. Think I'm high? Well, last I checked, Roe's gone, so make a plan today. Next year we must vote or Fash will have their way. Once again, GOP is lame. Lindsay has no shame, it's true. Maggot brains are on auto drive, screaming Hunter's mine, Lev who? Someday soon we all will have to stand up and ensure love wins. Until then, we'll have to keep aware somehow. So check your registration at vote.org now. Anyway, I'll not have a crappy throat and try and record it properly when we get to that point. But I'm excited, and if any of my beautiful friends have very stunning. If any of my friends have key of my 12 string, yeah, there you go. It's the key that your 12 string. Oh, is that Catalina? Oh my gosh, I've never been out there. Oh hell, guess so. Well, I guess we're gonna do it like we do it. We're gonna do it like we do it. Hey, you know what? Music's supposed to be fun, or you know what music's supposed to be? Fun. That's all it's supposed to be. No stress. It's all beautiful. So yeah, and then so if you but I was gonna say, like, I'm not totally happy with like the GOP. I like the GOP is lame. I'm just not sure Lindsay is the right person to pick on. And I did the Lev who. And then my daughter also said Roe's gone is hard to understand that it's Roe is gone. I could try like seeing if it fits in if I change the lyric. So, but yeah, oh, this is fun. Yeah, I'm trying to write more lyrics for Christmas our Christmas album. Good news is we have the album art cover. So just, start at the beginning. That's what I say. Start at the end and work your way back. That's what I meant. Anyway, I hope if I don't see you, I hope the rest of your Wednesday is fast and beautiful and easy and quick. You know what? Don't even worry, Jay. Do what you need, but that's fine. Do what you need to do, and I can actually adjust. I think what I would suggest, Jay, is put a track down and send it to me, and let me see what I do with it. Because I'm also really low in that register, and I might be able to come up a little bit. So no stress, no stress. Do what you do. And then let's start there and see I could probably back into it. Good. I want you to have fun. You deserve to have so much fun. Both you and Oomph work very hard, and I want you to have fun. I never want music to add anything but super fun. So no worries. Don't worry about it, darling. We're going to be all right. We're going to be just fine. Everything's going to be just fine. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm going to tell you right now, the spaces are fun. The lounge is back. This weekend is packed with stuff to do. Make sure you go. First of all, too, here's another PSA before I close out. Please make sure you're up to date on your vaccines. Consider carrying a mask, please. And please, consider masking. There's a new variant. I'm hearing it's airborne, but I need more information before that, but I think it's a good idea to mask. So that's my plan and our family's plan. And I'm about to get my new booster. So I also recommend people get their boosters. So we're doing what we do, man. It's public health, babes. It's what we do. We take care of each other and we take care of ourselves. All right. And on that note, I will take you out with some new music. I have new music. Hold on. Let me find the new music. Actually, let's see. Which one do we want to do? This one's kind of fun. Where is it? Oh, here. This one I kind of like. Here we go. So we'll jam with this for a minute. You got the Novavax? Oh, excellent. They're offering that here too. I just saw when I went to make my. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely. Just, take some extra precautions. Why not? Why not protect those lungs? Those lungs are very precious. So now we're just going to send you out with a little Pacific Coast Highway Heat. California energy, putting in a little bit of sunshine in your life. You're so welcome. I'll see you around. All right. Cool. Thanks, Christine. All right. I will see you guys later. Thank you so much. Humbled.